Hey y'all, it is Lucca, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another long play in The Sims 4. I'm saying a long play this time because we're going to be building something a little bit bigger today. This is going to be a small town high school. Go ahead and grab yourself a snack, open your games, get your crochet, get your scrapbooks, I don't know, your coloring books, and let's just go ahead and jump on in. So this is going to be based kind of loosely off of my own high school that I went to 13 years ago. So I have just had this idea in my head for a while, and I've just really been itching to do it. So let's just get started. I'm going to kind of start out by mapping out the front here. I'm going to keep it kind of small, because I want this high school to feel like a small town high school. And I already have pretty much planned out this build for the most part. But, this is just my kind of process. I feel like that's just how it is with being creative, is sometimes you need a, rough draft. You need a little bit of a sketch, if you will. And this is always a really good jumping off point for me. So, but yeah, this will be like kind of the entrance. Ooh, I messed this up here. Oopsie daisies, we'll do that. But yeah, just a little rough draft. And let me just do the entrance here. So it's 6 tiles wide, and then there's going to be some stairs right here on both sides. It would be really neat if we got some kind of accessibility kind of options, even if it's a decor in The Sims 4. That would be so nice. Like, I think that would be so cool for inclusivity and accessibility. I know that might be kind of difficult, but you know what? Here's my 2 cents on that. So what if it's difficult? It shouldn't matter. All right. It should not matter if something is difficult. They should do it anyway, But yeah, we kind of have this little entrance, roughed out. I'm going to filter by base game just to get the structure down so that I don't have to scroll forever, because I am going to be using a lot of just simple base game stuff today. I'm not limiting myself with packs just because this is for my personal forever save file. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in and we're just gonna place these windows down just like so. I'm doing 4 classrooms. 2 of them are gonna be functional, and then the other 2 are just basically gonna be decor. So they're roughly going to be 7 by 8 tiles each. I determined that was a good size. I don't know if that is actually a good size or not, but you know what, I'm going with it. And then let's see, we'll do this here. So it'll be just like a room like so. There we go. And I am just going to basically take this and copy this room over. And we're just going to copy this over again here. And that's basically kind of the front of the build here. I'll go ahead and place down the foundation here so you can kind of see. And then the windows are basically just going to be on like the ends of the room, basically on the corners, sort of, something kind of like that. And then we'll have the entrance, which the hallway, let me go ahead and I'll map this out really quickly. So the hallway kind of will end right here, and it's going to be 4 tiles wide. I thought, for this build, I wanted to kind of keep it fairly small. I didn't want to make it, ridiculously large because, first of all, the performance. I was trying to build a high school earlier, actually, today, and I just realized that it was just not running very well, like at all. It was running so poorly, and I was like, okay, I probably need to sit down and kind of come up with a better plan for this, because I was actually inspiring it off of my real life high school, like the best I could, realistically. But, it was just way too big, way too spread out. Honestly, with the amount of Sims that are going to be going here anyways, it would just be sparse looking. But yeah, this is going to be the kind of the office area. You'll have like, maybe a little reception area here. And then this will be where the principal's office is. Weirdly enough, if you look under the requirements here, it says principal's desk. There's only one, and it's this one, which I'm like, why? Why is that the desk? Like, there's so many other desks that look like a principal's desk. So I'll probably just put that desk here and then put like a proper office, quote unquote, back there. It'll be just basically decor. And then we have a library here. So I'm going to do 5 and 5 tiles. I may adjust this stuff as I go. This is just kind of like a rough little floor plan that I'm doing. I've decided that there's going to be a library right here, and then this will be a computer lab. We'll move over to this side, which this will be a hallway right here, and then there's going to be a couple of bathrooms here. So let me just kind of draw this out to like there. That's where it'll go. And then these are going to be 4 by 6 tiles. Because again, I determined that that's a pretty good size. The only requirements for toilets, you only need 2, which is kind of wild, I think, for a school. But I thought that was fine to just make, 2 separate bathrooms here, and each of them will have 2 toilets in each, like 2 stalls. So I was like, you know what, that's fine. I feel like for The Sims 4, considering, I think that's going to work. And then let's do 6 more tiles this way. And then this will be where the cafeteria is. Am I doing this correctly? That should be this. Yeah. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, there'll be like 2 sections of the cafeteria. There'll be like an eating area, and then there will be like a proper like food area, kitchen, I guess you could say, but it's not really going to have much. I'm still going to try to keep this like Sims 4-esque. I don't want to like make it overly realistic and detailed and complicated, because I want this to still be a functioning, high school. So let me draw another wall right here. And then this is where the gym is going to be, I believe. Yeah. So I'm just going to draw this out, and then there's going to be 6 tiles this way, and this will be where the entrance to said gym is going to be. And then, this is kind of an awkward little spot that I put myself in here. I think I might just get rid of this little kind of doohickey there, just so that I can keep this section 4 tiles wide. And then let me kind of look at my plans here. I'm kind of like squinting. I'm just like, what did I do? What did I do here? I don't know. But I decided that here too, there's going to be a couple locker rooms, just because that's how it was in my school, at least. I think there were bathrooms attached to them, but there's bathrooms here, so I'm just going to make them locker rooms instead. And then I'll put a door right here, I believe, is where I was going to put one. I feel like I could move these back a tile. Yeah, they need to be moved back. No, they don't. What's going on here? I feel like these were lined up. They are not. Oh, they're not lined up. That's why I had this little doohickey here. I don't like that that's so narrow, but you know what? It's fine. You can kind of see the structure. It's basically going to be one floor. It's inspired by my real life high school. So it was one floor. We did not have the fancy upstairs and all that nonsense. Okay, it was just one floor. That was it. And then I'm going to work on this area here. This will be a little bit more of a complicated section of the build, because this is the gym area. So it's 1, 2, yeah, it's roughly like this size. It's basically just a big square. Nothing too complicated, to be honest. But then when we go upstairs, that's when it's going to get a little bit interesting, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just do another level here, and let me grab just like a random fence just to kind of shape it out for now. But I'm going to try to find like where this line is. So I can't really see where that line is. 4 tiles in, so we'll go to here, and I thought this could be like maybe another little like area, because I'm going to remove the floor from this bit here so that it's a proper like gymnasium. Like it's like high ceilings and everything. Let me add some lights in here so we can kind of see what's going on. But yeah, I went to high school in a pretty rural area here in Kentucky, like very rural. Like my graduating class of, 2013 was a total of 85 students. Which, I laugh at that, but I know that there is some schools that have like smaller spaces and smaller classes and stuff. But I'm like, listen, this was not a private school. This was not just like some random school. This was a public school. This was for a county. Okay. Like this was not like a little itty bitty place, So yeah. But I'm going to do like a little bit of a thing here, I think. Actually, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going to extend it out to like there so that there is a way to get out of the gym as well. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't because I wanted to put some seating here. I don't know. We'll just leave it like this. We'll figure that out as we go. And then since I went to a rural high school, there was also a greenhouse. There was a literal place where they taught like, what was it? Agriculture. Yeah, they had an ag class. I didn't take it. I honestly probably should have, to be perfectly honest with you, the type of person that I am. But yeah, I really should have taken it, but I didn't. So I think it's because I didn't like any of the people that were in the class. That was really the deciding factor for me. I wasn't the type of person that like outwardly disliked people, but at the end of the day, I didn't really feel comfortable, as a queer individual. So I'm going to put one right here just because, I wanted to put my own little sort of, I guess you could say experience, even though I didn't take this class. This was here. So I think we'll do just like a little kind of outdoor kind of area. I'm not exactly sure what kind of area this would be. Maybe just like a hangout space, maybe, your Sims can come out here and eat, their lunch instead of having to go to, the cafeteria, like little area, the cafe dining area. I don't know. We just had a cafeteria. That was it. There wasn't really like, we had like a commons area, but there was nothing like you couldn't like go to a table and sit there. Okay. Something kind of like that. And let me give this a once over. I think that's it. And then there are going to be some exits over here. So I'll go ahead and add in just some little kind of flat squares so that, they can be accessible, of course. Going to a school like this, very small, in a small town, it's like everyone and everyone knows you, basically. Like when a new kid started, everybody knew. Not that everybody would know the person, but yeah, everybody knew. And I was the new kid. I was homeschooled for my middle school years. So that for me was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade years. Yeah, you could say that those were some formative years that I missed out on. And I most certainly did because I was so awkward as a teenager already. And then having like little to no access to, other people my age really was a hindrance. So yeah, it was a thing. Homeschool was great in a lot of ways because I was able to really work at my own pace. But at the same time, I had undiagnosed ADHD. And let me tell you, that was not fun. Okay. Especially jumping back into a school. Oh my God. Like I was a mess. I struggled with test taking and like I would do like practical stuff and like understand things like so well. Like my teachers would be like, fantastic, that's great, you're doing awesome. And then I would get to a test and then boom. At best, like I would make like a C, and at worst I would fail. And my teachers would be like shocked. They'd be like, what do you mean? And like, I think they knew after a while. They were like, oh, okay, there's something, there's some anxieties, there's some, brain stuff working or not working in my case, I guess you could say. All right, there's the rough kind of draft of this high school. It's similarly laid out to the high school that I went to. Actually, this is pretty much the layout. It's just, I changed a lot. I did take away like a good portion of it because if I did it to scale, it wouldn't fit here on this lot anyways. So, but yeah, we've got 4 classrooms here. 2 of them will be functional for sure because there's only going to be 2 classrooms anyways in these high schools. We got a couple bathrooms here, cafeteria, library, computer lab, offices, and then we have the gym area, which I know that they have the track over here, but I wanted to put like a basketball court and maybe some bleachers if I can do that. That's something that I probably should go ahead and do before I put any like windows or anything else in because it'll probably like be a pain in the butt to get this figured out. So I basically want it to kind of like sort of not cascade down, but I kind of want it to be in this area here. I don't know what I'm doing. So we're going to use platforms to start. That's what I thought was going to happen. It's going to be all weird, but it's fine. I think I'm going to do like 2 levels there. And then I'm thinking we'll do like a wall here just to kind of cut that off. And then we'll do 2 more. Ooh, maybe I should go 1 more tile outward with this. But, ooh, really quick. I'm kind of going all over the place because of this, because this is going to be a little bit of a weird thing to figure out. And I want to do it now. I want to get out the basketball court kind of measuring thing. I kind of want to push this back a tile, just one more tile. So there's a little bit more space right here. It's going to be a tight squeeze anyways, but I'm not really worried about that, to be honest. I don't really care if it's like a little bit tight, because obviously this is not like a functioning like gym. You know, they're not going to come here to watch a game. You know, you could probably have like a team or something, like a group of Sims come here and like hang out and like play basketball or something. But, you know, I don't really see that being happening. So it's just for decor basically. But you can kind of see, like, I'm going to do like 3 little levels here. I would probably do more, but I feel like it would be really like difficult unless I like go higher pitched and do something like this perhaps. That kind of does look pretty good. It's not perfect, but you know, I'm kind of here for that. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this. I'm gonna have to fix these. You know, the walls are always weird with platforms for some reason. Like, I don't know, but we'll just get rid of this wall here and then put this wall back. What do we think of that? I kind of like it. And then I'll just go ahead and put these here. I would do another tile back here, but I'm just gonna leave it. I feel like if I do too much, it'll be like too much. So let me type basketball and then we'll just plorp these down for now. This is me not really doing any decorating yet, by the way. I'm just kind of going in, getting the rough like kind of structure put down. Oh, I hope this doesn't really get in the way of the basketball court. It doesn't look like it. And then I can just put these here. It's a little bit like not even because this platform is only 2 tiles up and then the other 2 are 3, but I don't mind that. And then we can put some seats on either side and then all along back there. And I'll probably put some railing here too. I'm just going to place this down because I feel like this will be what I use. But oh God, I clicked the wrong thing. Oh no. Ooh, I'm going to be saving frequently today for sure, because it's going to be laggy in some spots because it's such a big build. So yeah, I'm going to save my game. You have unfulfilled lot requirements. Place the required objects before. I have never seen it do that before. No wonder. Because I had a blank save file here. Oh my God, that's so annoying. That's so annoying. Excuse me. Okay, we'll just do that then. We'll just get all the required stuff placed down, like the basics. So I'm just going to put the stalls for the bathrooms here. And then the sinks I know are going to be just these kind of simple ones here. I don't know if these are a good placement, but sure, they work. And whiteboards, I will go ahead and put them in the rooms that I know I'm going to use. I might just do like this room and then this room, so they're like on opposite ends. I don't know, I guess so that like the noises from the rooms are farther apart. I don't know. Then we have the cafeteria station, which is going to go in here. The principal's desk, which I hate that that's this one, but we'll put it here. A loudspeaker, which I guess I could just go ahead and put that there. I don't know why you only need one. I'll probably put them throughout the build. And then we need 8 desks at least. I'm just going to put like this much here. I will definitely be adding more. Don't you worry. And then the lockers, I already know where the lockers are going to go. They're going to go along these walls right here. And I'm just going to put them in like sets of 5. And then I'll put maybe like, I don't know, some right here. I remember whenever I was in high school, it was weird. We had these really basic, lockers here. And for freshmen and sophomores, they got these and they were like really busted and old and broken. And they were just kind of lockers. But then they had installed along like this part of the school some really nice lockers that were like this nice blue metal. They were pretty new. They had like locks built in, so we didn't have to get our own locks. But they were like half the size, but that's all we needed. And the juniors and seniors got those. I never understood that. I guess they were just trying to be fair, I guess, which makes sense. It's like, oh, you get the worst ones, then you get the good ones. So, and then for the dining hall, this will be right here, roughly. I'm just going to plurp them down. There we go. So now we can actually save the game. If you're building along with me, please save. Please save your games, okay? Yeah, I don't care where you're at. If you are making a sim, save a backup of that sim. You never know. All right. So I got some go-go juice in me, aka Coke Zero. And I am going to also, I guess we'll get to the greenhouse when we get there. That's not really important right now. I will go ahead and get the roofing done. The roofing on this it's going to be a flat roof pretty much. I'm going to use just a platform and I'm just going to draw it out. I love that we can just draw out these platforms like this because it makes it super easy for these kinds of flat roofs. I'm going to do just like, I think this as one section. So I'm gonna do it like 4 tiles up, and then over here I'll do one here as well. It would be kind of cool to put like a little balcony here, wouldn't it? That'd be kind of fun. But I'll just do 2 tiles there, and the same can be for here too at the entrance. I'll do just another little notch up, and then here as well. Yeah. I like it. This is very reminiscent of mine because my high school was definitely built probably, I want to say in the 60s, something like that. So it had that kind of, mid-century, like brutalist kind of like simple, like overly simple vibe. But, it's effective. It does the job. And then let's see, let me put this roof here on the gymnasium. And I already have the brick picked out, and it's going to be this basic one right here. This is exactly what my high school looks like, this exact brick. And I'm also using this one as well because there is a trim for the platforms that matches perfectly. It looks so good. I get all this placed down over here. There's so many little bits that I gotta place this on. Okay, and then there's also this level up here as well. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then I'm gonna grab the platform trim that goes here. And I'm also gonna put like a trim everywhere else too, just because I feel like it looks a little weird. You can kind of see the difference, and I wanna add some detailing to it anyways. So something like this looks kind of nice. You can see the vision, hopefully. It's very, very plain, but that's kind of the vibe that I like going with anyways. All right. And I guess I can go ahead and please be aware this might be a little bit laggy, at least in the build process. It's just, I guess, where it's got so much going on, plus it's like a really big lot and I'm building a really big building technically, it might cause a little lag. Even OBS is giving me like it's not giving me an error or anything, but it is showing, that the CPU usage is higher than I typically will see it, because usually it's at 3.8% and it's at 5.3. So it's definitely went up a good significant amount. But I'm going to put a door there. I definitely can't put one here. I wish I could put one somewhere, but it's fine. I don't really care. I mean, realistically, there would be an exit from the basketball court. I mean, I could, in theory, just put one like directly in the middle there and that be okay. I don't know. I feel like it's weird it being like right on the court though. So I kind of want to pull it out one more tile, just one more tile. Let me put this back where I wanted it. See, that is a little bit better. I knew I was going to make it bigger. That's just how it is. All right. And then for the wall pattern back here, this is probably not as realistic to my school, of course, because it definitely wasn't this fancy looking in this regard, at least. But I really want to use this greenhouse wall as like the wall back here, because I feel like that would just look so fun. Like, I don't know, you can see everything going on, and like the lighting, y'all. I did look at the lighting earlier when I was like playing around with this kind of idea, and let me tell you, the vibes are immaculate here. Like the lighting is gorgina. Like look at that. Oh honey, hush. Imagine your Sims being here like late in the evening, and I wish your Sims could actually just come and visit and it not be an issue. I don't know if they can. I'm gonna have to play around with that, but basically it'd be cool if they could just come hang out, Let's see. I want there to be some railing here in some areas, not everywhere, but in some areas. And I really am thinking of using this eco lifestyle one just because I feel like it has that vibe down. So I need the right one for this one and then the left one for this one. And there is the matching fence that goes with it, just because it looks the most like simple, and it makes sense. Ooh, and on those little bits there, I kind of want to get rid of the brick, or I can just place this down. Yeah, that makes more sense. So let me do that on all these. Ooh, this evening lighting is very lovely. I'm very much so here for it. And I don't think I'm going to do railing on any of these. I'll just make like extra wide stairs. We'll just do that, I think. I mean, do I want to do it over here? I almost feel like I should put some stairs on the side. I feel like that kind of opens it up a lot. I don't know if that really does anything, but I don't know. I feel like it's nice to kind of have some, alternate entrances, and it just kind of adds to it over here. So why not? And I'm just using this like concrete here just to kind of map it out. I'll figure out the flooring as time goes on. I'll do a pathway here and then maybe another one over here too. And then let's see, I'll grab this door and put it right there. How's that? That's looking good so far. And oh, I didn't even pick out the roofing, like the color or anything. I could do just like the gravel, which honestly that kind of looks good. The color looks really nice. It's really soft. Ooh, it's expensive, but it looks really good. That actually is such a vibe. And I am jumping around today. I'm sorry. That's just how I do these big builds, but I can also place down some HVAC units here. I think I'm just going to use this one here. And I might do like 4 over here. And then maybe I can do some more like, I don't know, right here too. Just like along this little section. And then I'll put maybe like, ooh, instead of these, I could put some vents above this because this is where the cafeteria is supposed to be. And I feel like that would be realistic to have some vents in the cafeteria. I could go all out with this space and really like put a full-on kitchen and everything, but I'm just going to do this, keep it really simple, maybe put some like, I don't know, some cabinets, some counters and stuff back there. I don't know, I'll fill it in, but I'm going to make it sensible in The Sims, Okay, and then I guess we'll work on the little greenhouse space while we're at it. Part of it is going to have a roof. I don't remember where though. I think I marked this down here. Okay, so 10 tiles. And we're just going to do something kind of like this with the roof, just a simple gabled roof. We're going to lower it pretty low actually. And then I think I'm going to do like the platform tool and then do like this maybe and kind of have a little bit of an awning on this. I don't know if this makes sense, but ooh, this will probably be a little lower. Something kind of like that. Oh, that's no fun right there. That's an issue. I don't like that. Why is it doing that? It's doing it on the other side too. I guess where it's kind of hitting this. So that's a little bit of a pickle. That's a pickle indeed. So I'll place down the trim and I don't know. We'll figure this out. I will also be using that same greenhouse. Obviously, I'll be using the greenhouse, glass wall here. Absolutely beautiful. And then I'll go ahead and make the roof a glass roof as well. That is going to bother me a lot, but I think I'm just going to have to ignore it because the game is just like that. If I pull it in, nope, it doesn't do anything different because I wanted to kind of have like a little bit of a thick little kind of platform there. We'll add this, then we'll add the trim there. That way there's almost like a little bit of an awning over this. I was going to lift it up on a foundation, but I think actually what I'm going to do is just make this little spot here. Ooh, I was going to say make this raised up, but then the door will have to go here. I guess I can add a platform for the door because I kind of want there to be like a little bit of separation from like the greenery area, and this can be maybe the class area. And then I'm thinking we can do just like, where is the door? Let me just color pick it, or eyedropper, not color pick, but eyedropper it. And then let's see. Yeah, maybe I won't separate it like that. Maybe I'll use something else because it does look a little strange. And we'll put that door there, and then we'll give them some of those windows. I'll just eyedropper those, and then we'll do like, I don't know, something kind of like this. Just kind of keep it somewhat simple, something kind of like that. And then maybe I'll just line it up like so. Yeah, I quite like that. And there'll be some like garden boxes and maybe some like work tables, and there'll be plants. This will be decorative, but in theory, you can, if you're playing with your sim, maybe during a break or something like that, or after hours, you could have them come here and garden, and it could be like their after school gardening class or something like that. You got to get creative with this game. You can't really expect it to do everything for you, honestly. It is indeed a Sims game. So I'm going to go ahead and place down all these windows. Look at this lovely lighting here. It's absolutely gorge. However, it is like glitchy as heck right now because I'm placing stuff down. You know what? These classrooms will get some extra light. Maybe that's why they're the main classrooms, because they get all that extra light in there, honey. I do want to fill in a couple of these spots with just some plain windows from the base game. These in particular right here, like these little extra sections. And it'll just be like right next to the big front doors, or not big front doors, but the big entrances here. And then we do need some windows over here too on this side where the cafeteria is. Of course, we're going to do maybe like, oh, I didn't do the proportions on this right. This was supposed to be a little bit longer. I think that's okay. I was like, something looks weird. This room was supposed to be smaller. So we'll do that, and then we'll do this, and then we'll place them down like so. Look at that lighting. Like, my goodness, it's so pretty. Honestly, Carbondale, it's pretty gorgeous. Pretty beautiful, actually. I never really have played in Carbondale other than just, playing with the, like the high school stuff. But it's just really beautiful. Like, I really have not taken the opportunity to play in it enough. So I'm going to place maybe a few of these little windows here, just to kind of fill that little wall in. And I'll probably do that with a number of these rooms, like this window and this window. Like, these rooms will be like shower rooms. And I think that's really it. And for the interior, we'll go ahead and pick out the doors for the interior. But to start, I want to do the office here. I'm going to do this because, at least in my experience, most of the doors had like those little narrow windows beside them, in my school at least. And I just thought that would look kind of nice here. So I will probably do that, and then put a couple of windows here as well. Not like floor to ceiling, but close. And I think I'll just grab kind of the shorter version of the window that we have been using, something kind of like this here, because I thought it'd be nice to maybe have some seating here. Like, maybe you're sitting and waiting for like, somebody in the office, or I don't know, just to add a little bit of that realistic kind of flair there. And plus it'll add some lighting in here too. All right. And then for the actual doors themselves, I think I am going to keep using this one. I know it's technically an exterior door, but I feel like it kind of works with the overall like approach to that concept. I don't know what I just said, honestly. I kind of zoned out. But we'll just do that for all of the spaces like this. I am going to put a door to the computer lab here, but also I don't know if I want to do just like another door like here, or if I want to do an archway. I feel like that's better, just so that, it's closed off from the library. And then let me think here. Is there anywhere else? Probably like here too, and here. That's how it was in my school, is that there was like, basically you could walk directly through the cafeteria to get to the gym. Like, you go straight through. Also, funny thing is there was like an area, like it was kind of like this, honestly. It was laid out a little different, but basically during breaks, people would just walk laps around the hallways with their friends, and like we would just talk, and we would just put we would share headphones, because it was before earbuds or earpods or earbuds, AirPods, whatever. Don't make fun of me. It was before that was a thing. And so most of us just had the little, gummy headphones. You remember those. Those were so good. They were kind of bad, but so good. I feel like we've gotten the structure pretty down pat. I guess now we need to, I'm going to pick out the sidewalk here. I think I'm just going to literally use the sidewalk slabs, just because that's just like the most normal looking thing. I feel like I want to do this though, because I feel like it just looks a little strange, being kind of like to the side there. So I kind of want to do that. And maybe we'll do this. I don't know. I wanted to put like a statue or something here. So let's just take a look at the sculptures. Maybe there's something we can put here that would kind of represent the school. What would be fun here? Well, it's Copperdale. We could do a bear. That would be kind of fun. Let's look that up. We'll go bear, just bear. And, that doesn't really give us anything. I was actually thinking of, let's look at sculptures here, because there is a bear sculpture that came with like the crafted items. I hope you know what I mean. I think it might be listed as debug. I don't even really know, to be perfectly honest with you. it's this one right here. I actually feel like this would be kind of cute. Something kind of like that. I could either do that or I could put it maybe like here. I don't know. Or I could put it like, I don't know, like there. And then maybe a sign can go over here or something. Or maybe it's here. I don't really know. I'm just going to place that as an idea. And then I do want to find a sign for this space. So let me just type in sign here and let me look around town a little bit. Oh, this would be cute. Like, I mean, that kind of represents the rural high school vibe. If I use that, that would be really cute. You know, maybe they're like, their school mascot is like just a bear. So they're like the Bears. That would be really fun, actually. I feel like this area is based off of the Rocky Mountains, roughly. At least that's what I read somewhere about Copperdale. So I feel like it kind of makes sense. All right, and then I'll just start with this front little section here. Landscaping. I'm really unsure about landscaping, to be honest, because obviously, you know, the landscaping near my school was pretty basic. Obviously, they're not going to go out of their way to make it look this pristine and perfect and all this nonsense. So I'm thinking we'll just use some regular hedges. I really want to use this one from Get Together just because it's a nice like height and just like nice texture and color and everything. And I feel like it would fit here. It doesn't fit perfectly. Well, it kind of does actually. That looks great. Yeah. What were your classes in high school? You know, if you attended, you know, what was your favorites? You know, I think my favorite class, like actually the class that I could truly like not worry about ever was probably foods and nutrition and also culinary, which was the same teacher. But it was just like different levels of the class, if that makes sense. Loved that. I knew the teacher myself, like personally anyways. I went to church with her. So, you know, I felt really, really comfortable regardless. But I also just really liked it because it was a hands-on practical thing that I knew I didn't have to like do a lot of guesswork on because it was just stuff that I already kind of knew. So, you know, it was really fun. But another class that I loved, even though it was actually really difficult in the beginning, was calculus. I actually legitimately loved calculus. It was a little challenging, but I took pre-calculus obviously the year before, and that was harder. Like it was learning all of the formulas, learning everything. It was complicated, but then when you get to the calculus class, you already know everything. Like structure-wise, you just have to apply it and prove that you understand it. And at least in that class, it was like that. And I don't know, I really loved it. The teacher was so cool. Like he was such a cool teacher, probably my favorite teacher. Like I have a lot of teachers that I loved when I was in high school. It was definitely like a really fun time with a lot of them. But in particular, that teacher always stood out to me the most because literally he was a character. He would always dress up during Halloween. Like he always dressed up. And one year he was like the Joker. And then there was another year that he was Ozzy Osbourne. And I don't know, I just thought it was really fun. He was really cool. He was a really good teacher too. He taught like, I don't know, like I took 4 math classes with him in the span of 3 years. That tells you something. He taught like geometry, but he also taught pre-calculus, AP calculus. It was AP, not just regular. It was AP, advanced placement calculus. And it was also, he was the kind of instructor for college algebra, even though technically he wasn't teaching it. He was teaching it, you know? So yeah, I did pretty well. Like I struggled a little bit in pre-calc because obviously it was really, really hard. He even told us, he was like, you're not going to do that great. He was like, it's really hard. He was like, I'm going to do the best I can to get y'all to a good grade. And I made a decent grade in there, but he was like, yeah, it's going to be really difficult. Like it's very complicated to understand at first. And he made it the best case scenario. He was actually a really good teacher in that regard, but it was hard. But once I got to the advanced placement calculus, I was eating it up. It was so fun. But yeah, he was the one math teacher in that school that I was like incredible at his job and actually knew what he was doing. What do you think of that so far? That's kind of cute. It's very simple. I don't know if I really like these or not, but I don't know. I can't think of any other bushes maybe to put here. But yeah, I took foods and nutrition. I also took Spanish, of course. It was like the only like alternate language that we could take in that school. There was no other, there wasn't like French or anything like that. Ooh, these are much cuter. Very much so more simple. Makes sense to put those there too. I mean, we could even put like this guy here. Ooh, wait a minute. I kind of am digging that. That's kind of cute. But yeah, I took Spanish, really enjoyed it. I started Spanish, like the first Spanish class, Spanish 1. I started it when I was homeschooled. And then when I went into the public school, I kind of finished out the rest of that. And she was actually so surprised. She was like, you know what? Considering you're homeschooled, you're actually doing really well. Like, she was like, your pronunciation is good. Like, how did you do that? Like, I remember her looking at the other students and she was just like, and he was homeschooled. And they all just like looked at me, and I'm like, don't look at me, don't perceive me. I'm new and awkward, and I don't know how to communicate with people. But at the same time, like, she was fantastic. I loved her. I came out in high school, of course, like you do. And I just remember her being like super, super like accepting and like encouraging for me. And I don't know. It just warmed my heart. Shout out to her. I won't say her name, of course, because I don't want to say any names, because I don't want to dox myself, because, I don't live there obviously anymore, but, just to be safe. Y'all already understand. That's looking cute. I kind of like that. Actually, do I want to like push this back? I don't know. I kind of do, because I feel like it needs to be like here. Maybe I should only have one staircase here. Maybe there can be some benches or something here, and then I'll just kind of push this back like 4 tiles. What does that look like? I like that. And then we'll do like this here, and then there'll be like one there, because I kind of want to like, I've got the ideas in my head. Do like this, and then like it can be like here, something kind of like that. And then maybe there can be some like other things, like other places to sit there. All right, I think I've got the hedges placed down everywhere that I really want. I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna put any like fences or anything. There is this over here that I could have probably recreated. Why don't we do that instead? I know I just spent so much time placing these down, but we'll at least see. It's this bush right here, and then they have this little short stubby tree. I think it's this one. Yeah, that would be kind of cute to do. We can just kind of replicate that throughout. Let's see what other classes did I take. I also took chemistry. I took a lot of the more advanced classes. Obviously, I struggled a little bit because I had an undiagnosed ADHD. So, it was a little bit of a challenge. But I mainly took them because A, my friends were taking those classes, and B, I felt more comfortable in those spaces because, there's, when you're in rural Kentucky, there's a certain, vibe of people that take, like the agriculture and like the woodshop classes, and I didn't feel comfortable in those spaces. Unfortunately, I wanted to be, because it would have been great if I was, but, alas, that's just how the cookie crumbles. But I'm not really worried because honestly, I learned a lot with the classes that I took. All right, so let me just kind of place these down like so, and then I'll also place this down. Yeah, that looks so good just because it kind of just resembles what's going on around, and it kind of helps it sort of blend in. I might have to do some like adjustments here and there with this just as I go. Yeah, we can just put that there and just end it. What do we think? See, that does look really, really cute. I'm definitely going to do that. I'll probably go in and add some of these flowers too. This is what I say. When in doubt, when you're not sure like exactly what you're going to be doing with your landscaping, you just need to look around the area that you're building in and then just kind of copy it, because that's all you need. It just needs to look nice. It doesn't need to be this perfect thing. I may have to adjust the hedges throughout as I go. I may have to make sure they're not like clipping into the actual building itself, but that'll be something I do as I go, I think. I also took AP US History. I really struggled with that class, like so much. It was just a lot of reading and absorbing information, and I had a really hard time with that, at least at that point in my life, because of the ADHD. And it was a journey. And I even remember my teacher sitting me down and just being like so concerned. She was just like, I know you understand this stuff. I know you enjoy this class even. She was like, but you're failing. You're not doing good. And she was like, and I am concerned for you, and she was like, I don't think that you'll fail this class, but I would hate to see you have a really low grade. And I don't know. I look back and I'm like, my teachers were really good teachers. They actually really cared. You know, teachers don't get nearly enough credit for what they do, and especially those teachers. They really cared about their kids. I don't know if any of them are still teaching. I know some of them have to be, like, for sure. There's a few, but you know, there was a number of them that were on the older side. So, like, obviously they're probably either retired, hopefully, or, you know, maybe they're still doing it. Who knows? All right. It looks like this part looks really good. I'm trying to think what I want to do back here. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. It's just really complicated because, like, maybe I don't need to put a bunch of other landscaping. Maybe I can just put some trees. You know, I feel like I need to put something here, like a fence, or maybe I'll just do more of those like hedge tree combos. I feel like that would be our best bet. Let's see. I'm just trying to think of what else I did. Oh, I remember my homeroom. Because your first class, like your first period class, was homeroom. And of course, in my school, they used to do block period classes where it's like you would alternate every day to different like blocks, but they switched it not too long before I started, and it became just period based. And so we would have 7 classes a day, and it was a lot because it was hard for the teachers to really get everything in sometimes, like within that hour. And sometimes, and most classes weren't even an hour long because there was usually like a few minute buffer between each class so that you could get to your next class. But also there were breaks and like lunch and just like all sorts of complicated things that just really made it to where you like each class was 45 minutes. And like, oh my God, that was just like kind of a lot. I think that was also part of my stressor of having ADHD, is because I knew how little time I had and it was not enough for me. So I'm just going to put some other trees just like around, kind of like scatter them a little bit. I'm using this one in particular just because I think it looks really pretty. Oh, it's coming together. Wait, this is actually so nice. I was really worried it wasn't going to look good, but actually, y'all, it's looking so nice. It's very simple, but I love that. I say that so much, don't I? Those exact words right there. It's so simple, but I love it. You know, I think I might put some windows over here just for this part of the gym there. So there's some extra light. You know, we'll do some more over here too. Why not? I've got horror stories about gym. Not like typical ones that you would expect. You know, it just gym kind of sucked. We never really did any exercises. Like we started at the beginning of the year. This is a complainer. We would start at the beginning of the year, and he would, the gym teacher, he would push us hard, like so hard to the point that some people were like sick, not doing well, being like super heavily winded, like not doing it right at all by any means. And then after those like first few weeks, he would just stop. And we would basically just sit around. I know. And he basically, after a certain period, he was like, you got to do something, walk in laps. I don't know. And that's it. That's all we did. And it was honestly really frustrating because actually I look back and I'm like, you know, if I had proper physical education in high school, I think I would understand how to work out better, at least to a degree. I didn't learn anything like at all with that situation. And I was like, is this really like how it is? Because everybody said it would be, but I didn't really believe them. I was like, oh, they're just being dramatic. No, we did nothing. You know, there was a period of time where he would get on to us, you know, make sure to walk the track or walk the laps or something. And then there would be a period where he just didn't care. And honestly, I look back and I'm like, oh, that's just so frustrating. Like, I hope they have a new person teaching that, because he was the coach for all of the sports teams, but he was also the gym teacher, which is probably why he was like that. But I'm like, y'all, if sports are so important, why is this how it is for y'all? Like, no, this is not okay. Wow, I have really rambled on today. Like, really rambled my silly little mouth off. So I don't know. I'm kind of here for it. That's what y'all click for, right? Is yapping. Which I personally, when it comes to me, I love videos where the person yaps. It's so great. Okay. So I feel like the landscaping is pretty okay. I may go in and add some more stuff. I'm getting a phone call. Need to mute that. It's just spam as always. But I do need to go in and maybe add a little bit more kind of, I don't know, detail, I guess. I mean, you can kind of see here, like these plants that are here. I'm just going to filter by base game and then high school years, of course, so that I know that I'm getting the same ones basically. And I'm just going to, go around, place down some bushes and some other things maybe. Should I put a mailbox? I mean, in reality, they don't need this, but a school is still going to get a mailbox, hopefully. And then I guess I'll also put some trash cans. I'm going to put trash cans like probably inside. Honestly, I know that's kind of gross, but that's how it was in real life. And for the sign, I kind of want to put it like maybe one on either side. I don't know if that really makes sense. It kind of looks nice. And then I'll just put a little mailbox like here. I don't really think they need that, but it's fine. I don't really care. And then honestly, instead of these bushes, they're kind of boring. I think I want to put some flowers. Like, ooh, these are pretty, but they're kind of not really, they don't really fit. These do. That's kind of cute. Wait, what if we, instead of these, find just some small trees? I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain it, but like trees that are like smaller with flowers on them. I know exactly which pack I'm living because I remember in front of my high school, we had those trees that had the white flowers and they kind of smelled bad. You know what I'm talking about. I forget what they're called. These actually low key kind of resemble them. These are a little bit on the more like the pink side. It is a little bit cramped here too. Maybe I can put like a bear here and then another bear here. Maybe I'll just do small bears since we're going to do two. That seems better. And then honestly, let's just get rid of just the second staircase and we'll just do like a big wide one there. So it just makes it a little easier for your Sims to move around because honestly, let's be real. The Sims are kind of silly sometimes. Okay, let's just take a once over here. I don't know if there's literally anything else I want to add. I'm trying to like zoom out and look at it from a distance just to kind of see. I feel like that's nice. Maybe I'll just go in with some more flowers. Maybe in the corners of the lot. I don't really know. We'll just experiment with it and see. It's going to be a long build, y'all. Strap in, get ready. But seriously. We could do maybe some of this. Maybe just in some spots here and there. Just to kind of add some little bits of like little tufts of grass. So that it does look a little realistic, I love this texture. Like, isn't that gorgeous? Like, it's absolutely beautiful. But let me just zoom out here. I feel like that looks good. I don't want to add any more. I feel like it'll overcomplicate it. I want this to still kind of reflect, my high school. I am going to use this stone wall, I think, out here instead of this little iron fence here because I feel like that would just look a little bit better. Part of me even wants to like do this, just kind of trace this little spot here too. It doesn't look bad. I can use the little sign here to kind of fill the gap. It doesn't have to be perfect. I say that all the time, but it's true. Nothing's got to be perfect in this game. As long as you can kind of see the vibe and you feel the vibe and you like the vibe, then the vibes are good, I think on that note though, I wish I could put fence to the edge because then that would look good, but alas, we can't. But I think that looks kind of nice. I think it's very simple, but again, that's what I like. All right, before I move into the interior of this build, we need to do lighting. Lighting is very important for this kind of build. I'm also going to save the game again. I've been recording for 50 minutes straight, so I need to save the game. So first thing I do want to do is I want to add some kind of standing lighting. I don't know if this actually functions. It doesn't. It does light up, but it doesn't do the job of lighting the space. So I just want to find some outdoor lights that would work here. Something not super modern like this, of course, but also not super rustic and like classic. Maybe something like this would look pretty nice. I could put maybe like a couple like that. I kind of think that looks cute. I'm kind of here for it. And I feel like I'm going to put some more. This is from Romantic Garden. Very pretty. Maybe we can just put like, I don't know, like a couple like so. We'll just do maybe like this. That's nice. Oh, that's so, so cute. And then I will also, do I need to place them down anywhere else? Maybe some, well, I think that's actually fine. Yeah, I like it. But then I'm also going to go in with just the standard saucer light. Our favorite, our classic saucer light, but I'm not going to use the small one. I'm going to use the big one because I actually want to see it. You know, I want it to be like, oh, this is a very simple, basic light here. I'm also going to go ahead and check out the lighting, see how it looks at night. Oh, that looks so nice. Oh, it feels right. It feels like high school at night, which it is. You know, it literally is high school at night, but you know what I mean? You know, it's emitting that vibe that I remember from 13 years ago. Yeah, I graduated when I was 17 because I hadn't turned 18 yet that year, of course, because it was like the birthday thing is basically, I don't know if this is like this in other countries. Let me know in the comments though, if you know this, but in America, at least where I'm from, there was like a certain cutoff point in the school year of your birthday. So after like, I want to say October is the cutoff, like right at the beginning of October. I could be wrong, but if you were born before October during that year, then you were eligible to be put into school. So like I was born in August, so I started kindergarten when I was 4 technically because school started before my birthday. But if you were born after October, you had to wait the following year to attend. So my partner, for example, he was born in the same year as me, just like 4 months later in December, but he actually started a year later than me because of that. So yeah, it was really weird, but that's how it is, I guess. Just so that there is like some kind of structuring to the age, but it is a little weird though if you kind of think about it too much. But all right, subtle saucer lighting. I am rambling like crazy today, y'all, but I did really quickly want to figure out a type of lighting that would work in like a school. And you know what I'm talking about, the drop ceilings with like those fluorescent square rectangular lighting. We don't have anything like that in the game. Like there are some lights that could work, and I did do some experimenting with like this one where I would like raise it up and then like shrink it down, but it was taking up so much space visually. So I think I am just going to keep using the saucer light, but we're going to, place it down properly instead of just haphazardly. So I just think that one looks the best. There's also like this light, and there's also, a few others that could work. Like maybe even this one could work as well, but I'm just going to keep it really simple. I'm thinking of this as like a community light because it is. And we'll just put 4 of these kind of in the corners. And also at the end of the day, I like the black swatch. It looks really, really nice. So yeah, I'm just going to put them in the corners of each room, just like so, kind of in the same spot, at least for these classrooms. It'll keep it nice and brightly lit and even though that is the bane of my existence. Honestly, let me tell you, I think the lighting in school was absolutely atrocious. I started getting my like cluster headaches in high school, and I swear those lights were the part of it. But I'll put some lights just like kind of there and there, maybe like one here, and then kind of one in the middle of these hallways. I don't know if that's really the middle, but say it is. So I finished placing down all those lights. I'm going to try to not look at them too much because they look kind of bad right now, just because there are a bunch of black dots everywhere and it's kind of bugging me. But I think once I put down like the furniture and like all the extra stuff, it'll look better, of course. I guess I'll go ahead. I'm going to place down some more loudspeakers. Like I'm going to put like a couple like so. I remember growing up, they like in high school, like they had these like in the ceilings, of course. And I also remember like in the entrance, there was like a couple of these like clocks attached to the wall. Those were the bell. And oh my God, they were like so loud. Like I'm telling y'all, the loudest you can imagine. I'm going to put some of the loudspeakers in the cafeteria. I'm also going to put some here in the, I guess the, what do you call it? The gymnasium, because I feel like that would be, realistic. And I could put one in the library. I feel like putting one in the library is kind of cursed though. So I'm just going to not do that. Ooh, I forgot there's some extra like little lights in here. I may add extra lighting throughout the build as I go, but we'll say about that. All right, before I move on to adding anything else, we can go ahead and pick out the flooring and the wallpapers. It's going to be pretty easy actually, because for the most part, it's all going to be brick. I'm just going to keep using the same brick that I've used, and I'm going to do the white version for the interior. I may go in and do some other things in some other rooms, but for the most part, it's going to just all be this brick. The bathrooms and the locker rooms, though, I think I'm going to go with this beige tile just because I feel like that makes the most sense, just because they're bathrooms. They're supposed to be a little dingy. Our bathrooms were dingy. I'm not saying the janitors didn't do their job. They did their job. They dealt with like a couple hundred, like 400 plus nasty children. They shout out to them. But I'm going to say this, those boys, let me tell y'all, if y'all don't understand disgusting until you go into a boys' bathroom in high school. Oh my, let me tell you. Oh, I rarely used public restrooms in high school because I was just like really like, peeved out by it. I mean, I still don't like using public restrooms in real life. I just hate them so much. But especially in high school, did I despise them. They were atrocious in high school, the boys' bathroom in particular. I'm going to just do a blank door, I think, for these locker rooms since they're not really bathrooms, I guess. And then let's see, do I want to just do more of this brick in here? Yeah, that looks good. Oh, dang. I got rid of the glass walls doing that. What the heck? That is so weird. I've never seen it do that before where it like overwrote the glass walls completely. Oh, this is going to be a journey. This is going to be a journey doing all this. But yeah, oh my gosh. I hated going into the boys' restroom with a passion. It was so bad. I'm going to readjust these because I didn't do it right on this side. And so like I definitely didn't go to the bathroom as much as I should, honestly. TMI. But yeah, it was rough. And also gym class, like I remember the first few weeks where we, did, workouts that were too intense. I actually only went into the locker rooms once to change. I was so nervous to change in front of all these boys that typically would make fun of me. Actually, they didn't really make fun of me. They just didn't acknowledge me. They just kind of ignored me. They probably thought I was gay, and I mean, let's be real, they knew it because like I was, but they definitely didn't acknowledge me like whatsoever. But I was so scared to change in front of them. I was so embarrassed, and I came out flushed a little bit because I had rushed changing into my gym clothes that one time, and all my friends looked at me and they were like, okay. Like, because I was a kid that denied my sexuality hardcore. Okay, hardcore. And they all just, I mean, they were like no duh, they weren't judgy, like they understood why I was the way I was, but they were just like, okay, Lucas, okay, sure, you're not. Okay, we agree with you. How are they going to get up here? I just now realized that. How the heck they going to get up here? I didn't put a daggone staircase or nothing, so let's do that. Do I want a staircase that matches the floor, or do I just want a black staircase? I feel like a black staircase would be perfectly fine. Maybe a metal one. Like, do I want to use this one from Werewolves? I think if I do that, I want to put a wall here instead. Oh, but that doesn't look very good either, does it? I don't like that. Oh dear, that's a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of an issue, a little pickle, if you will. I don't know. We'll just go with those, and maybe half walls will save the day. I feel like that's our best bet, is to place down maybe some half walls here. It'll probably need to be like tall enough. Oh, that almost works. It almost works. Let me just do maybe this one because it'll be even all the way across. I don't want to do it on this part. I want to leave this kind of empty here. Oh gosh, it's so like fiddly because there's so much going on. But how does that look? I really wish it would go all the way up to there, but I guess technically then I would need to just do a full wall. Oh goodness, y'all, I know I'm so all over the place. Big builds and me, I'm not good at them. At least I don't have the confidence in doing them because it's a lot to do a big build. Maybe I can just take this like very tiny little half wall and just go across the top just so that there is like a little bit of a trim there. That ain't so bad. And then I can actually even go in with a column, some kind of column, maybe just this basic one from the base game. Can I like lift it up? I can't from here, but I can from here, but it'll like, actually it didn't cut it out. Ooh, hold the phone. Let me make sure. Oh, that's perf. And I'll just put that there as well. And then we can use more of these like up here. Oh, I think that looks so good. And then for the railing, I think I'm going to use this one down here that I used, or maybe something else. I might change that. I may even just get rid of this bit. I feel like that just does kind of take up a lot. Wow, it's so slow. Like, oh my goodness, that took so long, honestly. I'm thinking though, what kind of fence? I mean, there is the one from Werewolves. There's the one from Get Together that I do like. This one from City Living though, it doesn't have a solid black, and I feel like I need that. The dark wood, it's too nice. Let me rephrase that. The style is not correct, at least. So let me think. I feel like it would be metal. I feel like it would have to be maybe either this one from Businesses and Hobbies. I kind of like the one with the lights too. I think that's actually kind of charming, but I don't think that's the vibe either. We could just do half walls. I feel like that's probably my best bet, is to just stick with a simple half wall. I love how we have a variety of half walls, So technically they're not half walls. They're, not full walls. But, oh God, this is going to be a journey. Oh boy, placing down walls in a building this big is starting to impact my game just a tiny little bit, unfortunately. So I probably not going to be doing any more wall work, but I think we're good. I think we're in the clear now. Everything is chill. I do want to put some rails, of course. Probably we'll just use the matching ones that came from the Werewolves pack. And then I am just going to make sure that they're on the correct sides of the stair here. And then I also need to put down, place, whatever, the trim here. And then I think, so we have these little like bleachers and like upstairs lofted space, I guess you could say. I could probably put some more seating up there, but I've decided I'm going to put like some weightlifting stuff up there and like some exercise equipment maybe, because that's actually how it was in my school. There was like a lofted area kind of above the gym. So I kind of want to do maybe like this up here, since that kind of fits that vibe. And then for these, I think I might just do more of the wood, just because it does, match. And I'm specifically using the basketball flooring too, which I think is really, really nice. Ooh. And I do want to go ahead and add in a little bit of railing, I think, on these, because I feel like that's realistic, having some kind of way to, support yourself as you walk up. Lighting is also going to be a little bit of an issue, just because it kind of is dark, but I feel like that's also kind of realistic too. I mean, maybe I can just kind of it's really hard to add lights when you're like up this high on like a second floor, like above this, just because the grid is kind of hard to line up. It looks weird here. Oh no, it's like really bad looking and dingy on these parts, and it's absolutely because of the platform, and that makes me sad. That makes me so sad. I may just ignore that. Oh dang it, I don't know what I did, but I messed it up again. As you can see, I gotta put these daggone walls back. Oh my goodness, I was like, why is it looking so dingy and dark in here? No, the heck wonder. Oh, well, maybe it was a blessing in disguise, because I like the way this is looking more now. Maybe, yeah, what are some high school experiences that y'all want to share? Feel free, don't feel pressured by any means, but feel free to share in the comments, because it's always fun reading, y'all's stories and all that. Being in a rural high school in a small town where everybody knew everybody and all that nonsense, it was an experience, let me tell you. Because I had a really small graduating class. So when I came out, nobody was really surprised. Let's be honest. They all knew me. They all saw how I acted. They were like, oh, okay. And I thankfully wasn't really bullied or anything. Nobody really picked on me ever when it came to that. They didn't. I don't think anybody did. I think it was me that picked on myself the most. Just real tea, I guess. But I don't know if I want to keep the brick inside of the office spaces. I kind of want to find something a little bit different. I could do wainscoting. I could just do maybe a very simple gray or blue. I want it to feel kind of old fashioned though. I don't know. I want it to still have that little element of a classic build. Ooh, wait a minute. This This looks kind of cute. I don't know. Maybe this can be used for the office spaces and also the library. I don't know. There's just certain rooms I feel like you need a different vibe for. Obviously, the computer lab and all the classrooms, I think, will stay the same. But I think that just kind of warms it up a little bit. I don't know. All right. I think we've got the base done. Like, there's no more landscaping. The lighting is good. I do need to come out here, though, and work on this main greenhouse on the greenhouse. Okay. And I think I'm actually going to use a different linoleum. I kind of want to use this linoleum here. It's got that kind of scuffed look to it. And I feel like that works really well here. As for this area, I don't know if I want to just keep it like this or if I want to just do like more of the linoleum or if I want to like, I don't know. I feel like I should just do the linoleum and then we can do planter boxes throughout the space. Obviously, this space isn't really going to be used in the same way, like at all. It's really just going to be a place to kind of, honestly, let's be real, take screenshots and pretend. That's the majority of the Sims, okay, is pretend. But I think I'm going to put, I don't know, the formation of them. It's going to be maybe just like so. We'll do maybe like this kind of setup here. And maybe I'll do some more in the middle. Maybe I'll move them out just a little bit from each other, something like that. And then I was thinking over here could be like the quote unquote classroom, essentially. And then I am going to go in and just use the brick. I'm going to use this brick though. I'm not going to do the white brick. Maybe the interior used to look like this. I do have a question that I want to see, maybe not a question, but a little intriguing thing. Because there's this vibe. What if we painted the interior brick darker? Oh, but that does look good. I do want the classrooms to be white, but this interior hallway being that darker brick kind of looks nice. I don't know. The flooring, I'm a little unsure about it. This is from Get to Work. I think it works really, really well for like a style like this, but I don't know. I want it to be more like a little nicer, a little bit more like marbly. It doesn't have to be like a nice marble by any means. Like I want it to be maybe something like maybe this. I mean, that kind of does work. To be perfectly honest, that does look really good. And I do need to find something for the ceiling. I think the linoleum like this would look pretty good. Oh, wait, that kind of does. It kind of gives that vibe of like that kind of drop ceiling vibe. That's kind of cute. Ooh, I like it. So I think I'm going to use that. I just need to go to ceilings by room in like these kinds of rooms. Like the classrooms, the library, computer lab, maybe even the bathrooms will do it because why not? But I kind of want in the little, like the cafeteria, we could do the like metal industrial ceiling. I feel like that would look pretty good. And we'll do the same thing for the gymnasium. Let's just see how it looks from like this angle. Oh, that's actually so cool. I feel like the gymnasium, oh God, this is going to be such a pain in my butt. But I really want to change the brick back to this warm brick for this building room too. Because I think the white is good for like the smaller rooms. But for the big rooms, I think having the softer color, it's just nicer. It is a little bit less bright and intense, and it just seems a bit more calm. And plus, I just think it looks better personally. But I have to place it down carefully. I can't just fill the room completely because then I'd have to redo all of the glass walls for like the third time. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that again. Don't make me do it, please. Yeah, I was definitely part of the group of kids in school that were like, we were all good kids. We didn't really fit into a clique or anything, thank God. Honestly, I was so glad for that. We kind of called ourselves the in-betweeners, the nobodies, we were just there, we were doing our thing. We went to school and we were definitely all a little nerdy and geeky and, into video games and anime and drawing and Pokemon. Like definitely drew eyes all over everything. I drew Pokemon all over my shoes. Like I wanted to be like an emo kid so bad, but I definitely did not have the personality for that. I think it was just the style I really, really liked. And I didn't really fit into that kind of crowd anyways. I don't think I wasn't like, I wasn't emo enough, I guess, in a way. I just really liked the hair and the music. Let's be real. I'm like almost 31. I'm still listening to the same kind of music. Definitely not the same music, but the same kind of music. I'm listening to metal a lot for sure. Wow. I've been recording for a while. We haven't even furnished jack yet. But the structuring of everything is done, and I'm actually so proud of this. So I guess let's just actually get started with the furnishing. Is that even what you would call it? Furnishing? I don't know. But for the entrance, and I'll tell you more stories about high school. I want to do some kind of like mats because like you kind of have to have that. There's one that came with Dine Out that I think would be like absolutely perfect. It's like a little kind of mat. It's this one right here. I feel like this would be perfect for the entrance, just to kind of act as like a little mat for people to walk on. I think it was also kind of like this too for our school. Like they kind of had it down these little like lanes, I guess, from each door. Let's be honest. Me and my weird group of friends would sit here. No joke. We would sit here to hang out before classes started, and people would have to walk around us. I look back and I'm like, why did we do that? Eventually a teacher was like, hey guys, I really need y'all to stop sitting here. I'm just saying, you're kind of making it to where people gotta walk around you. It's, can we just move to, you can just sit over here, or, you can hang out in front of the office or something. Don't do it here, please. And we were all like, so embarrassed, but also we were like, oh my God, why did we do this? Like we were like, this is dumb. Why did we do that? We just picked a spot, and I guess we were so used to it. Nobody said anything. It wasn't an issue, but we were kids be kids. Okay. I'm trying to find some kind of like posters or something that I could put here. Like it doesn't have to be like a ton, but I want like something that suits like a high school like entrance. Maybe, actually, let's type in cork, because we can actually maybe put one of these here. Maybe I don't know. Maybe, it's like advertising for different events or this, that, and the other. Maybe I should do like something like this with the mats here, because the mats actually perfectly line up with the grid, which is really nice. And then I can go in with some seating. Ooh, there's this seating. I was going to use like this, but I kind of like this. Maybe we can just put like two like that, and then we can just put this above it. It's decorative anyways, so it don't matter. But I kind of do like that. And then the green, I've been really digging this like dark green as like the kind of accent color throughout the space. So I'm going to definitely be using that. See, that looks really, really cute. I don't know if I want to put anything else out here. I don't think there really was anything. Maybe we can do some tables or something just to kind of fill the space in. I specifically do want to look at the tables that came with Get to Work, because you know what? They're actually kind of nice because they're not like really high up. Like this table, like look at these. They kind of work really nicely. We'll just do the black ones. Yeah, sure. There doesn't need to be any lights. Maybe we can do some plants. That'd be kind of nice, actually. I just want to fill it in and keep it from looking like empty, like sterile, I just don't know what kind of plant, other than maybe like, a plant, just something small and subtle. Oh, these are nice. Yeah, those kind of fit really well. We can even do the green, maybe. I don't know. Sure. Maybe we can do some of these columns. I kind of want to grab this column here. Oh, well, that is going to look a little strange, isn't it? Because I was thinking about putting like columns maybe at the corners of each little like interior wall, like kind of like that. I don't mind that, actually. I feel like that adds a little bit of extra detail in here. And I don't know, it's just a good way to add some extra detail. I just said that. There's that though. That kind of looks good. All right. And I'm thinking, well, most likely what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add more lockers in these spaces just to fill in the gaps. Maybe I'll space them apart a little bit, like so. I'll just fill it in completely. We'll do that. They don't have to be like perfectly lined up and all this nonsense. I might put the door to this room down a bit so that I can kind of make it a little bit even there. And I think the lighting does need to be improved. I think I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to put another one right here, so it's really well lit in here. That is feeling so correct. I would love it if we had a water fountain. I don't think we do. Like, I legitimately don't think we have like a water fountain, but because that would be so perfect. I could put like a sink. Honestly, that kind of doesn't look bad, but obviously there were water fountains everywhere. But I can imagine, I obviously have not been in or near a school like properly since I was a child myself, so I don't know, but I'm wondering if they got rid of those post-COVID. They probably did. And you know what? They probably should have. And I think I'm also going to grab these mats too and put them like at each little doorway, just because I feel like that's what I would do intentionally, like instinctively anyways. I'm gonna also bring this door over, kind of flip it around like so. I feel like it looks kind of strange looking like that. I kind of want to do like these kind of windows here too, just because I feel like there's something about like having windows interior like that. I don't know, like I feel like some of the like spaces in my high school were like that. Okay, we got lockers here. Do we have different shades of those? Oh my god, we do. Stop it right now. I don't want to use any of these because the gray ones are the best ones. But I do want to kind of add a few more lockers like right here. These will kind of represent those that I was talking about. Weirdly enough, mine, which the bathrooms in the high school that I went to were not here. They were kind of like here. And then there was like a couple classrooms here. Just think of a bigger scale. And my locker was like in this tiny little hallway in between. It was really nice. That little tiny locker was so good. The big thing too was when you're a freshman in my high school, at least at that time, you had to share a locker too when you had one of these big lockers. So you had a kind of like a locker buddy, which was fine. You know, I remember the guy that I shared mine with, because I only had one during my sophomore year. He was fine. He was like, yeah. He was like, you take the bottom part, I'll take the top part. Good. And I'm like, sure. I was like, yeah, that works out. That's great. I don't know what to put on this back wall. I don't really know. Maybe some more like posters. You know, since we are near the gym, I think that would be really fun to put some kind of like athletic posters. Like, I don't know if this one will do, but maybe just like, oh, we like that. That's so perfect. We'll just put like a few of them kind of like here, you know, promoting, you know, physical health and all this stuff. I kind of want to see if there's like a basketball poster we can put somewhere. I feel like that would be really, really cute. Oh, that's literally perfect. Oh my goodness. What is that from? Parenthood. Interesting. I don't think I've ever used this item before. Once. That's actually so fun. Oh my god, if we had like a music room. Oh, I really wish I could do that, but there's not really like if I did a music room, I would do a band room, and we don't have like band instruments. So, okay, I feel like this hallway is starting to come together. I'm just going to maybe add a few other posters throughout. We can also just do like murals too. Like those are kind of fun, but I'm trying to think like what else could go here, because obviously these rooms are going to be like the generic classrooms. I decided that I wanted to maybe just decorate these two classrooms as rooms of classes that I would have really enjoyed taking and doing. So I think this classroom might be the foods and nutrition class. So I might put some kitchen stuff in here and like some tables. And then in this classroom, I think it's going to be the art classroom. We didn't have art class at all. No art class. No, zip, zilch, nada. Not a single bit of art. We did have like for a brief period, an after school kind of art program. That didn't last long, unfortunately, because, you know, it just be like that. So, this poster would be kind of cute in a school. You know, it's like, I don't know, kind of a welcoming thing, something kind of like that. I feel like that looks cute. All right. And then I guess we should start working on the office space. So I hate that this is the desk that it needs me to use, because for some reason this one is flagged as being the principal's. I hate this desk so much, but you know, we'll just make it work. It's fun. I think I'll do like something maybe like this. I don't know if I would want the windows to be facing that direction though. So maybe we'll just get rid of these two windows. Just keep the principal's office. It needs to be a little private, you know. So I'll put that right there. And then let's see, I might just do like a nice like dark desk or something. Ooh, maybe that one. I kind of like the green. Kind of matches the general vibe. And I want to grab just like a little office chair. Let's see. I kind of think I'm going to be using a lot of the stuff from Get to Work today, because that works pretty well actually. And see, I hate this. We're putting this in the reception instead. I can't. No. Yes, the principal will be sitting here instead. It's fine. I want this to look like a principal's office. I want it to be like a professional looking desk like this one. That one's literally perfect. The color, everything. We can even do like a darker green, but I'm going to do this one. And then we'll do a matching chair to go with it, just like so. And I guess a computer too. Oh, I wish we had those chunky computers, but I'm going to just use this one instead, I guess. And let me just push this back a little bit so that I can throw in some proper chairs for like parents and just like etc. people to sit in. I'll probably just do like this mega one from the base game. Kind of makes the most sense. It just looks like a waiting room chair to me. Well, there is another chair though, isn't there? There's one that actually came with Get to Work. I'm pretty daggone sure. Never mind, y'all. There is one that would work just so perfectly right here. There we go. We'll just kind of put them like so, keep it nice and simple. I'll probably put like maybe a bookshelf behind all of this. So let me kind of move these back just like a notch, and then just some kind of bookshelf, maybe like this. It's kind of nice. Actually, that looks kind of perfect. And I would like, oh, there is more Get to Work stuff that looks really cute. Like I can imagine maybe a couple of these. It looks like they have some files in them, but the wood tones are going to match really well. Maybe I'll put a lamp on one side, and then maybe like a trophy on the other. Maybe this principal, I don't know, won an award or something back in the day. We'll do like maybe one of these lights. And then let me just type in trophy, because I know there's quite a few. Like, you know, there's something like this would be kind of nice, or just maybe something generic like that one. It just looks like a trophy. So I'm also going to look at some lighting too. We do have this lighting, which I think looks kind of nice. There is a nice green version too. What do we think of that so far? It's kind of cute. I'll do maybe like this little, little light there. I feel like that's really adorable. And then maybe just like a pencil cut. I'm just going to type in pencil. There we go. We'll just put maybe like this here. I'm not overloading it with stuff. So that's probably all I'm really going to do. For the wall though, I do want to maybe I will add some windows in here like this. I don't know. I just feel like that would really add to the vibes. Like they could be sitting out here and just like looking through the windows being like, oh my God, he's getting chewed out by the principal. And it's like quiet. Maybe it's like silent in here. I don't know. And then maybe I'll just throw in like some kind of art like on the wall here, I don't know. And then I do want to do some shades for sure for this space. I think I'm going to do this like kind of warm colored gray. And then we'll just put it like along each little section there. And we'll also do it here as well. I think these windows are going to go. I think that was a good idea, but it didn't really work out. Ooh, actually, hold the phone. Let me type in file. Wonder if I can find them. Yes, filing cabinets. We should do these instead. This is like a no-brainer. They're not really fitting the best, but they don't not fit. So I'm just going to go with it. We'll put a couple of those back here. This window ain't really doing wonders for me. So I might just bring these windows like in like towards this part of the build, just like that. That looks pretty good. And then I can put these lights back here, another little trophy. I might use these tables somewhere else, but I'm definitely going to use more of these filing cabinets in here because that's literally perfect for a school. Okay, and then we have the reception. This is like the secretary's office, basically. I just remember vaguely one time, I don't remember which year it was, but I think I'm going to use the cabinets, like this kind of cabinet. But I remember walking by the office and like me and my friends were like talking. I think we were like doing something for a teacher. Like we were like permitted to be out and about moving around. Like we were like doing something with posters. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But I just randomly remember the secretary. She was so sweet. Loved her. Super cool. But she was like, Lucas, you're here. And I was like, I just kind of looked at her and looked at myself and I was like, yeah, I kind of am. I was like so confused. I was like, what? What's going on? She was like, no, you're marked as being absent today. And I was like, oh my God, what? And she's like, yeah, I don't know what happened there. That's weird, but yeah, I'll fix that. My gosh. She was like, I was actually about to call your mom to make sure you were all right. I'm like, oh my God, thanks. I don't know. That's part of why I really liked her, I think, because I don't know. Just I wasn't like, I was anxious a lot in school. I definitely had a lot of undiagnosed mental health stuff because, that we didn't have access to that kind of stuff when I was a kid. Like it was few and far between. Does this even look good? Would y'all lie to me? And say that this looks good, because I don't think it does. That kind of looks okay. It's not perfect, but hey. But yeah, she was very sweet, and I just felt really seen too, because like they like even called to check on me like when I was sick one time, because they were like, you barely ever miss school, and if you miss school a lot, we know you're sick. Like it was weird because like in my school, like I was so scared that I would get like, I think if you missed so many days, you got like basically the equivalent of a detention. It was called alternative in my school. And I was like convinced I was going to get thrown in alternative because I had missed so many days of school because I was really, really sick one time. That was also an undiagnosed like issue that I had, but that was like my gut health. Yeah. A whole ordeal. Was not the only kid that got that too. I'm going to put like a little rack somewhere. I don't know. Let's just put this somewhere. I feel like just putting that there would be kind of nice. And I really don't know what to put in this area, so I am just going to keep it pretty simple. I'll just put some files, maybe some more of these from Get to Work. These are really good little items. We can just kind of scatter them around. Maybe something kind of like this here. Maybe these are like, I don't know, certain files for certain days of the week. I don't know. Oh, a calendar would be cute in here. It's actually really fun to do this because, it's me building something a little different. They would not have this one. That is like a pinup. Okay, we need a proper calendar. Why isn't the calendar from Cats and Dogs labeled as a calendar? 6 days of pets. I beg your daggone pardon. Sims team, y'all need to listen up. Okay, get it together. But we'll do a couple of those. And we'll do a couple lights. I am going to say I have a mod installed that I can no longer actually access. The link is probably still in my description, just in case it does work. But currently it's not working. I think Brazen Lotus possibly has taken it down, maybe to fix it or something. But there's a mod that adds slots on top of the cabinets. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there. But let me also get some books here. Maybe we'll just do like a couple stacks of books here, maybe something like this that kind of looks cute. Oh, this would look nice, just like here in this room, like a little placard for, reading. I don't know if that really makes sense in here. Oh, I definitely want to put this in the library. And then maybe like some more just random little files and, letters, just a couple little clutter items in here. And then maybe I'll push this back just a little. And then honestly, we'll grab the kind of, bigger version of those chairs. Do I want to make them like this? I feel like that is an absolute yes. That looks so, so good. I can make them all this like really pretty dark green, and I feel like that would look so nice. I think that's all I'm going to do for in here. I don't want to overdo it with the clutter. I feel like that's even pushing it, to be honest. But, when you look in there, it looks like an office, Okay. I think I'm just going to keep with the trend of doing all of like these random little rooms first, and then we can move on to like the classrooms and then the gym. The gym is mostly done, honestly. We'll just throw a few like benches over here, but I guess we can do the bathrooms. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. It's a bathroom. But hey, it's a part of the space. So we'll put some mirrors in here. I'm also going to make the sinks a different color. I think I'm going to do maybe like just like the beige, just because I want it to kind of match. And then the toilets, let's see if there's a swatch that kind of looks good. I did the version of these that are, maybe I'll just do like this color or maybe the brown. Actually, I feel like that one looks the best. I did the version that is more private. Because that's not how it was when I was in school. There was barely any privacy. Are there urinals in this game? There aren't. I was just thinking about that because we have them in The Sims 3, don't we? Yeah. So I feel like that's a missed opportunity, Sims team, okay? And I think I will also go in to the wall decor items, filter by Get to Work once again. And we can go in, first of all, we should add some pipes. I don't know. I feel like that would add to the vibes. But also, I want to add in like this stuff, like the towel dispenser. We can do these little hand soap things, which those are hand sanitizer dispensers, but I just pretend that that's hand soap. You know, it looks the same basically. And we'll do that. And then I guess for realism, this isn't really for functionality, but for realism, I'll do like a trash can in here. You know, why not? Just a little extra trash can for the paper. Yeah, that's pretty much done. That looks cute. I like it that it's a little dark and dingy. Oh my God, is there a hair dryer, like a hair dryer, a blow dryer? That would be so fun. Ooh, I should put some wall mounted like fire extinguishers somewhere. Like maybe we can just put one in like the office. You know, we'll put another one maybe like, I don't know, like, ooh, down here. That would be really, really good. I don't know where these are supposed to technically be placed, but you know, putting them like throughout the space would be a good idea, you know, because realistically, you kind of need that. But also, you know, it adds a little bit of that little touch of realism that, you know, I would not initially think of. So yeah, that's kind of fun. I'll probably put them like in more spaces, but honestly, get to work is really getting to work today. Okay, next room, I think I will work on probably the library and the computer lab. I'll do the computer lab first, since that's probably going to be the absolute simplest room to do between the two, of course. Let me find some tables. So let's see, what kind of table would I want? Because realistically, I think I'm just going to go with some really basic desks for these kinds of spaces. I don't know if I want to do that or if I just want to go with like this version. I think I want to go with the wood. I just feel like that looks more, I was going to say realistic, but God, I keep using that word so liberally. But yeah, I'll just put like a couple desks kind of throughout this space, you know, kind of sort of spread evenly around. I could do that, or, and this is probably the better alternative just because there'll be more slots. There are tables, like kitchen tables. They look basically the same, except I can actually put more computers on those. So I think I'm going to do that. We'll just do like 2 tables in each little spot. Maybe I'll do another one like right here. And then maybe I can do like another 2 here in the middle. I feel like that feels kind of right. And then I will go in and just add in the classic little boxy computers. See, we can do 2 per desk or table because these are kitchen tables technically. And then I'll even like, maybe I'll alternate these just to kind of make it a little more interesting. And then for the chairs, I mean, probably just these really like plain ones kind of make the most sense because they're not going to be like fancy rolling chairs and all this nonsense. They're going to be the bog standard chairs. I would use the ones from high school years because there are some regular chairs too from that pack. It's this one, but for some reason, these are just speaking to my vision more. It's a little cramped in here, but it'll work, hopefully. But maybe I'll move these down a little bit just to kind of add a little bit of extra space. I feel like that looks kind of nice. Maybe I'll do this same thing here. And I low-key want to get rid of one of these. I just feel like it's a lot going on. Unless I do it like this. Oh, wait, that's probably better that they're like that. Yeah, I think that works out better because then there's just more space throughout. That looks good. Yeah, and I really don't know what to put in here, to be perfectly honest with you. I have no clue what other things should go in a computer lab because realistically, there was nothing else in my computer lab, which, funny thing, I don't know if I mentioned it. There was 3 computer labs in my high school. 3. Yeah. Which one of them was a classroom. It was still a computer lab, but it was a classroom. So technically it wasn't really like open, you know, it was like you couldn't just go in there and use it. I think I'm just going to put some posters, some generic posters or something. But specifically, we had one computer lab that had like all the old, you know, white boxy computers, you know, fine, whatever, how do you do? And then there was the Mac lab where there was the nice fancy iMacs. Let me tell you what, we never got to use those ever. I remember using them like a few times because I was in a club that was actually permitted to use them, but it was few and far between even with that. Bonkers, ridiculous, silly. I don't understand why. Honestly, I'm still salty about it to this day. I'm going to put a plant in this corner because I can. There just needs to be something else in there. But then we can move on to the library. I think I'll put the like a little reception desk, which I don't know if, oh, let me type in desk. I'm hoping that I can find that. It might be a debug item, or as I say in my accent, debug, because I want to put like a little front desk here. That's perfect. And then we can grab the counter from Get to Work. Again, Get to Work is really doing its thing today, but I will, I think, do like a little bit of a reception kind of desk here so that, you can check out the books and drop them off and all that stuff, all that good jazz. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this to work the way I want it to, but we'll see here. I think I just need, ooh, a rounded counter. That would be cute. Oh, I love that. I adore that. And then I'll just find a little chair to put here. I'll put this maybe like right here. I think that's kind of nice. But actually, we'll put one here and then maybe like one here. And this is just like a little area you can just place your book if if you don't know where to put it back, or maybe you're just dropping it off. And then I am going to be using the Book Nook kit. The last time I did a library, somebody was like, you didn't use the Book Nook kit, and it made me scream. And I'm like, or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, how did I forget the Book Nook kit? How, let me just ask one more time. How did I forget the Book Nook kit? It's iconic. It's incredible. It's such a good kit. Why did I not think of that? So I'm going to redeem myself just a teensy little bit today. And I'm going to be throwing as many of these bookshelves as I can. And I'm trying to like mix and match the filled version and the non-filled version. So it just kind of looks a little bit more, I don't know, various. Is that the word? I don't know. It just has some variety to it, essentially, so that it doesn't look so boring and simple and empty and weird. I don't know. But let me just finish placing those down. Something kind of like that. I kind of like these little like areas kind of left open over here, like where these windows are. It just adds in a little extra like natural light. It's kind of fun. It kind of is like that little kind of random corner in the library. I just love it. And then of course I want to put some tables, like desks. And I think I'm just going to use the basic little table from the base game, of course. I use a lot of base game in my builds because honestly, it's just nice having like a simple basic thing to represent what you need it to represent. So I'm just going to do maybe some tables like so. Maybe they'll be moved like up a tile to where they're a little bit more like centered, kind of like that. And then I'll find some chairs. I'm not going to put them like all around each table, but I'm just going to put like a few. Should I do these? Actually, yeah. And we'll just kind of put them like kind of randomly placed. Like maybe, that's just how it is. I don't know. I kind of like that though. That's cute. Maybe I'll do like more, to be honest. I feel like there does need to be like at least a few more, like 3 per table is kind of nice. And then I do want to put some like little lights on the tables. I don't want it to be like nice. I want it to be like straightforward and simple. Like it's meant purely just for light. It doesn't add any like aesthetics or anything. Maybe those lights that I was using earlier, these, I feel like those would look kind of cool. Or we can just use the Get to Work light, which honestly is kind of perfect. It's on theme. We'll just use this black one though. Yeah, that's nice. I don't know if that's really that realistic for a library, but I like the vibes. I think it's nice and cozy. I remember when I was a sophomore, I think they stopped doing it when I was a junior, but my first few years of high school, they had a thing called, I think it was some kind of like reading comprehension class for 4th period for everybody. It was something to do with like trying to get people caught back up or something to like reading standards. But essentially it was like a reading study class. But for some reason, me and like a small group of kids, they basically selected us. They were like, hey, so you guys actually are good. You don't need these like reading classes or anything like that. So you're actually going to be put into an advanced reading class in the library. And we were like, oh, okay. Like they just randomly called us out one day. It wasn't like something we knew at the beginning of the like year or something. And you know what, y'all? I was so happy. I was so happy because I was going to be so bored. I don't really know what I want to put back here. If I want to put more books, I don't really want to do that. But yeah, it was basically a book club. Like actually, not even joking. It was actually a book club, but we just discussed books. We would read and talk about them. And it was so good. Like I remember reading The Hunger Games because that's whenever that came out. That was the prime time. It was before the movies. It was fantastic. Ooh, wait a minute. There is a little chalkboard item that would be perfect. This one, because it looks like it says Wi-Fi, at least to me. So maybe there's maybe there's internet in here too. I don't know. Oh, that looks kind of cute. Maybe that's just like, I don't know. It just fills in the space. Oh, I wish I could just do this. Oh my God. I wish I could do that instead of those daggone ugly whiteboards like these. Ugh. We didn't have those. We did, actually. I'm lying. We definitely had those. But we had the smart boards. That was like the thing they started using when I was in high school. I remember my math teacher, the cool one, he had like a little tablet that went with it. And let me tell you, it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen before. I don't know why. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do for in here. Maybe I'll put another like lamp like on this counter. Oh, and we should definitely put some like more stacks of books. Like this one, we'll just do like different colors. Maybe maybe the librarian or whoever's in charge of the books, they just need to go through them, and it's just a lot. Librarians do a lot, Okay, that's looking cute so far. I am going to take a break, because I have been filming for so long today. I recommend, though, if you're working on any kind of creative project, or if you're building in The Sims, or you're doing literally anything along with this video, let's take a break. Let's stretch. Let's move around. Let's get some water. Let's, grab a snack. Let's, I don't know, check in with yourself. But I'm going to take a little break. All right. I have taken a break. I have hydrated myself, and we're going to work on the cafeteria now. Now, realistically, like in real life, there would be way more places to sit, but I'm just going to stick to maybe like this amount of places to sit, maybe more. I mean, do we want to use like a different table though? Something that looks more like a folding table, more, I don't know, not a wood table. Like honestly, I kind of low-key want to use the table from Outdoor Retreat, just because I feel like, it being plastic, it would make it easier for them to clean up. It doesn't have to be like viewed as a folding table. Should we do this much? Or is that too much? I feel like that might be too much space. Let's see, dining table, there just needs to be 2 technically. So I'm just going to go with the 4, and then we'll use the chairs from City Living. Do I want to just go with like maybe like a mix? We'll do like some yellow, we'll do some green, we'll do some black ones here and there. We'll put a couple on the ends too. We'll do blue. We'll just mix it up. Makes it more fun that way too. But yeah, something kind of like that where they can just sit and eat. I feel like that looks pretty realistic. And I am going to put some archways here, because this is actually kind of similarly like how my like lunchroom was set up. There was like 2 archways leading to the kind of like kitchen area, and you would like start here in the line, go through here, and then come out this way. I also think I might get rid of a window, just because I want there to be a place for garbage cans, and I don't want there to be like a window there. So I'm just going to put like a garbage can right here. And then I think I'll put like a vending machine here. I am planning on putting more in the build kind of throughout, but I think I am going to put one here. Or actually, I wonder if it's considered a refrigerator. This item here from Get to Work, it actually has food that you can buy from technically. So I might just put that here instead, because why not? Maybe they have some options. I want to maybe move this like seating area kind of this direction just a little tiny bit, and then I guess I can go in with maybe some either blinds, which the blinds would look really nice. Honestly, I feel like that's kind of a fun vibe. But I have been using just the standard base game shades, as you can see, like these simplicity shades. I think they look really nice because they have that gray color on them, and it just kind of softens it up a little bit because there's a lot of white going on. Ooh, I know what. There is an item that came with the base game, I'm pretty sure. Let me find it here. It's like a little thing with stuff. That makes so much sense, right? But no, it's like a little thing. It has like, I think like ketchup and like, napkins, stuff like that. And I don't remember this item, the condiment basket. This would be perfect. We didn't have this in my school. Absolutely not. But we did have like a little area where they would put out like a table with like sauces and like, dressing and all that stuff. Here's the thing. I went to school around the time of the Obama administration. So our lunches were changed a little bit. Now, I see what they were going for. They were trying to provide like more balanced meals. And so it was pretty good. You know, they weren't bad. They were pretty decent. The downside is my school, I don't think really knew how to budget that very well. They didn't really do a very good job with it, to be perfectly honest. Oh, this needs to be the other way. That's better. I was like, something's wrong here. It wasn't great. We didn't have a salad bar, unfortunately. That was such a letdown for me because, you know, as a kid, I loved the salad bar when I was in elementary school, and I didn't get it in high school, which was sad. I don't think there's really like literally anything else that I can or should put in here. Like, I'm just going to maybe put some, you know, extra shades in here. And then I'll probably maybe put some extra trash cans. You know, I'll do, you know, maybe ones that are a little bit more like nicer, like maybe these. I'll just put like a couple of those in here. I just hate that there's like nothing on the wall back here at all. It just feels so weird and awkward. Like, I know that it doesn't matter really because it's just a decorative thing, you know, they're going to come in here and get their food and leave. I don't know. I want to put some other things in here. Like, you know what, maybe I'll throw in like a few things. Who cares? I know that's not realistic, but hey, like if it was up to me and I had more space, which it is up to me, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But if I could make this bigger and kind of go a little bit more in depth, I would make like a full kitchen space, but I'm just going to leave it at that. We're just going to keep it simple. I do want to put some TVs in here because we did have that in my school, but they were like these little itty bitty TVs. So maybe I can just put one like up here. They were actually not like these like cute flat screen TVs. They were like the old tube TVs up on the wall. We'll put a couple of those in here. I think that's good. I think that's actually going to work for us. Ooh, one thing that I could do is add some mats back here. We could just grab those same ones. I can never find those for some reason, like ever. I can never seem to find them. So I'm just going to like color pick them or eyedropper them. And I'll just put some like back here just to kind of fill that space in a little bit. Maybe I'll put a sink and some other things too. I don't know. It's not a functioning space anyways, so who cares? Maybe I'll put like some like appliances back here even. Just kind of make it look, I don't know, somewhat right. Like I'll put maybe one of these and maybe I can put like, I don't know, a double oven or something back here. Something like this. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a vibe. I don't know. It's just for the vibes. And let me find maybe like a little table. I kind of want to put something else right here. Maybe just like a little table like this, just to kind of fill in the space. And let me think. I filtered by Dine Out and Kitchen Clutter Kit. And so I'm just going to throw in some of the items that are here, basically, you know, just like some random bits and bobs. None of this is really like that important, but you know, it's just for the vibes, you know. You know, the scale would actually kind of look cute somewhere. You know, I'll just put it anywhere. I don't think it matters. I don't know, something kind of like this maybe. I don't know. This is really just there for filling the space. I think that's good though. I think the cafeteria looks pretty realistic. It's pretty cute. I feel like having Sims come in here and sit is kind of a vibe. So yeah, let's go ahead. We've got kind of this middle section pretty much finished. I will go ahead and we'll work on the proper classrooms now. Now the two classrooms that are going to be functioning, I'm going to essentially do the same things with those. I feel like I need to move this door back. Yeah, we're going to move the door back, to be perfectly honest with you, because that placement is not doing it for me. And then what I'm going to do is I'll pretty much do just like something like this, a pretty basic layout with the desks. I'm going to do 8 per room. It only says that you need 4 in total, but I think that 8 is like a good kind of point. Let me find, do I want to use this chair or do I want to use the matching chair? I think I'll use the matching chair because I'm using these like high school desks anyways. Let's see, I do want to maybe do some, you know, color varieties. I don't know. Do I just want to keep them white? I'm not sure yet. I mean, I kind of like the beige. Like I'm thinking maybe we do like all of them in like these, but maybe like a couple in the back are like the more worn version. I like that idea a lot actually. And then we'll do the same with the chairs. You know, we'll just kind of mix and match, you know, the worn vibes, you know. I think that's really cute actually. And let me find some shades for the windows here. We'll just do something like this. They are going to overlap a little bit weirdly, but I'm not worried about that. And to be honest, there really doesn't need to be literally anything else in this room, like absolutely at all. But I am going to, should I like do the door like this? I hate putting it right on the edge, but I think where it's a too wide situation, I'm not really like that mad about it, because I kind of want to like maybe put a desk up here or just provide some more space. I kind of like that. Let's see, Skelly, not Shelly, but Skelly. I think, yes, the skeleton. We'll do the skeleton up here. And then let me type in globe. Let's see. We have this, but that's a bar. I would not do that. We don't have like a proper little globe, do we? We have this one, and it's not very like good, to be perfectly honest with you. Let me find like a desk or something. The thing is, I don't want to put a chair at the desk because I'm afraid that a student would sit there, and I don't want that to happen. So I think I may just nix that. Let's see, I guess I can just put maybe like some bookshelves, when in doubt, bookshelves. We can put maybe like a couple like back here in this section. And then, maybe I can do just some posters, some wall art. Oh, maybe I'll put like, I don't know, some of these up here. This can be like the teacher's stuff. I don't really know. I guess I can just put some more of these posters that I was using earlier. These are like education looking posters. I feel like that makes sense. Those are from high school years. Yeah, high school years for sure. I think I'm just going to put maybe a couple of those. And then I guess like I want something that looks like some cubbies or, file cabinets. To be perfectly honest, y'all, I feel like these rooms are a little small, like actually like a little too small. So I'm probably going to maybe reconfigure them just a bit. Like maybe we can put the bookshelf here, and they can still access these desks just fine with this bookshelf being here. So I'm thinking, what we do instead is I am going to move this door back to where I had it earlier. I'm going to move these like way, way back here. Oh yeah, that's so much better. That leaves some proper space up here. They can still kind of get in. It's a little tight there, but I'm actually not mad about the way it looks. I feel like it's realistic. And then I do want to put a proper desk up here. I kind of probably will use this one. I'm afraid that the principal's going to come in here and sit though. So, which is so silly. I don't know why they set it to that. So maybe I'll just use one of these desks. Oh, that's perfect. I kind of want to use the light blue, just add some variety in here. And then we'll put a nice chair. Hopefully the students won't sit in it. And if they do, just delete it, please. I'll just do maybe like a white chair there. Yeah, because I just feel like it's just missing something unless I put a proper desk in here. I'll put maybe a floor light in here. I just don't know what else to put, y'all. I think I will grab just like a little file thingy here. And let me let's type in pen. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes, this item right here would be perfect. Maybe like a little pencil cup also. Maybe this little painting can be a nice little homage to having an apple at the desk. I just think that's kind of cute. And then I can also put an apple like clock there. Isn't it so funny? Because I think we got the education career with Discovery University, but we got the education career and then we got high school, but they don't work together. That's honestly kind of a low-key like missed opportunity. I think this is good. I want to put more stuff in here, but to be honest, I think that if I was to do any more, it would be like really cramped and crowded since like Sims are actively going in and out of this space all the time. So I think this is going to be the setup for both of the like functioning classrooms. So y'all, I'm going to actually do some cheekery and I'm just going to copy and paste it over. And then I'll just, fix anything that I need to fix over here. I'll just redo like some swatches here and like get rid of this extra nonsense. We will have to kind of maybe just reconfigure it slightly, but I don't think that's gonna be that much of an issue, to be honest. Like I can literally just move stuff over, put some, maybe posters back here, and then we'll just do this passively. Maybe we will move the doors over a little bit because I feel like it is kind of difficult for them to get in. And then I'll just flop these around so that the door opens in the appropriate direction, I feel like. And then let me make sure everything else looks good. I think it all looks pretty good. All things considered, I just copied a room over essentially, but hey, that's a way to do it. And that's pretty cute. I'm gonna leave it at there. You know what? Let's throw in a few other little bits and bobs. Maybe this one teacher has like a pride flag up, and then maybe this teacher just has like, I don't know, a diploma up or something, like maybe like right here. I don't know. Just add a few extra little details to at least make it feel like there's someone different here. Like maybe we can, go over here where this room is, and we can just change up the swatches. Maybe we can make get rid of the book, maybe we can do this, just kind of change up the swatches, clean it up a little bit. Maybe the desks can be different colors. Ooh, yeah, maybe we can do like, I don't know, this color. That's kind of fun. Maybe they wanted some more, color variety in their space here. No, maybe that's just how they kind of organize their stuff. I'll make sure to also maybe throw in a few little chipped worn looking desks too. Yeah, that kind of differentiates them a little bit, just having some different swatches. And then I think this room, I was going to do an art class. I just don't know if the vibes of this room is an art class, because to me, the vibes of this room is math class. And I know technically I've already got 2 functioning classrooms. I kind of want to make this classroom more decorative. Let me type in chalk for chalkboard, because I know we had this from Get Together. This kind of gives me like math vibes, sort of, here on this one at least. So I think I'm actually going to model this after my favorite teacher's classroom instead, so that I can throw in some of my own personal like decor in here. The desks that we had were the kind that the chair was attached, so we don't have that in this game, of course. I'm just gonna do maybe like, I don't know, just like something like this. I'm not gonna do like the full amount because I don't have really the room in here. Do I want to do it maybe like this, and then just kind of move these back a little bit? Move these. I need them to be kind of like that. I don't think these are going to really work the way I want them to. But I just remember the way he had his room set up is his desk was here, and then he had like an aisle in the middle where all the desks were facing this way. And honestly, I think it was because he knew that students would be a bit more attentive if he did that. So I think I'm actually just going to do like maybe like this. We'll start here. Even though this is not super accurate to the layout, it's close enough, I think. Oh God, I really want to make it work. Okay, maybe we'll just do 3 on each side. Oh my goodness. It's representative. It doesn't have to be functional. So yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll just do, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make these, maybe just this white one, just to make them different looking. And then I'm just going to grab the chairs, wherever they are, the matching chairs, and we'll just do a matching gray. Or like the white, unless there is a gray. But no, I'll just do the white. I mean, maybe we can fit these. I mean, it doesn't have to be functional, like I said, because they were like pretty cramped in there, like we were like right up against each other, kind of like that. You know what? We can do it. We'll make it work. I'm just gonna, go with the flow. Yeah, it's a little bit cramped, ain't it? But this is basically what we had. And, he would walk basically up and down the middle of this room here, and that's how he would teach. I also remember the first time I had him, it was my sophomore year, weirdly enough. Freshmen were usually the ones that took geometry for some reason, even though in other districts and other areas it was sophomores that did geometry, but where I was new the previous year, I didn't take geometry, so I had to take geometry sophomore year. And so many people were like, did you fail geometry? I'm like, I didn't take it last year. Other schools don't do that. Y'all are weird. I remember them just looking at me funny. I'm like, don't look at me funny. Excuse me. I didn't fail nothing. I don't fail anything. I never did. But I just remember, I don't know how he knew I don't know, because I had never interacted with him once, but I specifically remember him, giving them the spiel, because I remember walking in that first day and the bell had rung. It was like 5 minutes. It was like a few minutes till class started. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get to my first period. And I walk in and everybody's already in there. And they all look at me and I'm like, what? Why is everybody just in here already? This is really weird. Like, did the freshmen just like, what? Like, because I hadn't experienced the first day as a freshman in that school. And it was just so strange. And I remember sitting down and just being kind of like, whatever. And then he comes into the room and he gives them the spiel about high school stuff, And then he kind of just glances at me and looks at me and he's like, you don't really have to listen to this. And I was like, how did he know? Like, I have never interacted with him before, but I don't know. He was just cool. You know, and I imagine he's still cool. I've heard he's like the principal or the vice principal or something. And I'm like, you know what? That school's probably run so freaking tight now. Like, oh my God, he was something. I really liked him. Clearly I did, because I'm still talking about him to this day after all these years. So anyways, I am just rambling like nonsense today about high school. But yeah, did y'all have a favorite teacher? Let me know in the comments. Ooh, that kind of works. That kind of matches. But I'm going to do this kind of situation. I'm going to look up file cabinets. I know he had file cabinets. I might just put like 2 little spots on either side here. We'll do these. He did have like another thing over here that was like a podium, and he kept like blank homework assignments over here so that he could like, you know, keep it separate from his desk. He was, I don't know, maybe he was like the best teacher ever. I don't know. Ooh, we'll put some of these over here. Why didn't I use these in the... Oh my gosh, hold the phone, y'all. These would be so much better in the kind of secretary's office here. I like them in the regular principal's office, like the small ones. But these, oh my God, that's so much better. That fills that space perfectly. And I think I'll do like maybe these swatches. And yeah, and then I remember he did have the smart boards and stuff. But, you know, I'm just going to put chalkboards in here just because I don't want to like mess with the functionality of the other 2 rooms. Something like that. That's so cute. I like it a lot. You know what? I'm going to leave it. That's really, really cute. I think this is a fun little representation of that room there. I'll put some more little files too. I just like that item. And you know what? I might just make this other classroom here the art classroom. Why not? You know, it'd be fun to have like a little something extra like that. I was going to do like biology or something fun, but to be honest, I scrolled through so many items earlier looking through that stuff, and I really couldn't find anything that really like represented it very well. I don't know. That could just be me being a not great builder sometimes. But yeah, I think I am just going to do a little art class though. So maybe I can do like, I don't know, some of these kinds of easels. And then we can go in with the rugs here, and we can maybe even go in with like some paint splotches and like other things throughout the room. Because, you know, it's an art space. So maybe that's just how it is. I don't know if I should just do 3 or if I should do like maybe like this kind of situation. So like, you know, 5 little art things. I just don't know how I want to do it, because like I do also want to include some kind of like tables to work at, but maybe they can be more like these kinds of tables, like dining tables or something. Maybe like a couple of these. These are kind of cute. Some funky little desks. I don't know. I don't like those, but I like the shape. I like that kind of idea. Ooh, maybe these? I don't know. I want them to look like they're from this kind of school, you know? So maybe I'll just use these basic ones here. I think, yeah, these are the dining table versions. And then I'll just, you know, put some chairs like these, you know, kind of surrounding the space. You know, I'll mix and match them too, so that it's not, you know, so that it isn't, you know, completely, you know, the same feeling. And at the same time too, with this space, I feel like it's okay if it's not perfect, because at the end of the day, it's not going to be a functioning space, but your Sims can still come in here and use the stuff. Like maybe you can just have like a little art group come in, and like after school, like they can just come in here and just do some painting, you know, especially if you have like a Sim who maybe they just don't have the money for an easel, and maybe that's what they do when they come here. I'm just going to put some, you know, some of the art studio stuff on the tables, you know, just to kind of make it look right. And then let me go in and, oh, like this item going here is perfect. And then the little table item here, like this one, is that it? No, not that one. We wanted, ooh, like this would be great in here. Actually, maybe not. I feel like that kind of doesn't really work. We'll do maybe like a light here. We'll give it this like kind of worn look. Maybe we'll do the green. And then there is this like little table thing here we can put like a few items on. We'll just put some flowers and like the vase thing. We'll do that just because I feel like they wouldn't be able to have anything extra. And maybe we can just put like some extra stuff kind of around. Ooh, the sink. That's so necessary. I might just put like, you know, one on each side, or maybe just like one there. I feel like that's good. It's kind of a chaotic little room, to be honest, but I feel like that's kind of the point. I do remember we did have art class in the past, but obviously just how it is, I didn't get to take it. because they took it out before I started, which sucked. Because that was the one class that I felt like I really could have excelled at, was art. Because, I come from, a mother who is an artist who is very interested in that stuff. So, it was really unfortunate that I didn't get the chance to have like a proper art course, Yeah, I think that looks really cute though. Pretty simple. There's not really much going on in here, to be honest. Maybe I'll put a couple of these over here. Maybe they can wheel them over and use the paint. I'll just mix and match the colors here. And yeah, that's fun. I actually really like that room. That's very nice. And then I'll go ahead and add some shades. I didn't do that in this other room. Actually, one thing that I could add into here that I didn't do was this poster here has a swatch that looks like a number. It's this one. It's literally got the pi symbol on it. So this is math. This is math. These are like general classes. This is art. My two favorite things, I guess, apparently. But that's kind of the front part of the build. That's all done. It's not overly done, but I love how it is coming out so far. Now we can work on the gymnasium area. So I'll go ahead and get the locker rooms taken care of. I don't really remember how these are set up, to be perfectly honest with you, because I did not have as much experience in these areas. As a nervous gay boy, I did not. I don't even know if the showers were open. I think they were. And I'm looking back, I'm like, I could never. The boys, obviously, straight boys don't care about each other. That's, yeah. But when you're gay, that's scary. It's scary in a lot of ways. Let me look up. I don't want to get actual lockers, the school lockers, but I want to get the lockers that are the other lockers, because we have these as well, which are for the gym. So I'll just do 2 rows in each side. I don't have a gendered marker for either of these, just so that, you can use either one if you want. And I think I'm going to do these kind of grungy colors, because why not? I feel like that looks kind of fun. It's kind of gross, but in a good way. Actually, instead of a door, because I feel like a door into a shower room like that is that's not a good thing. That's a breeding ground for germs. We'll just do maybe an archway, something here, and then maybe one here, roughly. Do I want to maybe make that the black swatch? I feel like it should be, so it matches the door a little bit nicer. And I don't know, maybe just some benches in here. Again, these are really not going to be functioning spaces, I don't believe, because I don't think I've ever seen, anything like this in an actual Sims 4 high school, the Copperdale one that was here originally. I didn't see anything like that. So unless I just wasn't paying attention, which is also valid. I never pay attention to anything because I have ADHD. I'm just going to put this one from Get to Work. It's the one from the I think the prison, the jail. But hey, it kind of fits the vibes. It's got that kind of grungy look to it. I don't know. I just feel like there's something missing in here. It doesn't feel finished yet. Maybe I can just put some towel racks up, in here. Maybe that's kind of a fun idea, so that it's, I don't know. I don't think that's realistic. Is it? I don't know. I never even used the showers. That's the thing. I did not touch that place with a 10-foot pole after my embarrassing experience. So I kind of want to make these lockers black too, because I feel like that color is really bothering me now. That yellowy color, it doesn't match. I feel like that looks good. Okay, I think the only thing I probably can add that I can think of is maybe those little these little items from the what do you call it, snow escape pack. We can just put a few of these little shampoo, conditioner, whatever, just little soap bottles there. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave them like that, because there's not really anything else I can think of to put in there. And then for the bleachers area, I definitely, something I could have done was maybe made one of these into a storeroom. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I think it's a little unnecessary to have 2 of these locker rooms if they're both unisex. So I think I'm actually going to turn this one into a storage closet. That would be so good for this space. Just a nice little area to store extra equipment. I feel like that's perfect. So I'm going to grab this flooring here instead of the, like, what is it? The basketball flooring. And then let me just put this brick back in here too. And I can store stuff in here. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, I feel better now. I don't really know what packs to look at for this stuff because personally, there's not really a lot, but I'm determined. Let's see, get together doesn't really have anything. Ooh, okay. So I found these under parenthood. I feel like just having like a couple of these might be kind of nice, like a couple of little baskets in here just for, I don't know, extra clothes or something. Ooh, I just found an item that I can use in the cafeteria. I did not realize this at all. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this in here. You know, forgive me, y'all. I am not used to building these kinds of big builds in general, but also I'm just not used to doing like a high school. Like, this is such a new experience for me, so bear with me. Maybe we can put some of these like racks in here. I mean, these are technically from the thrifty boba shop, but we can just say they're maybe like costumes for like performances. I don't know. Can I just type in sport? Can I just get sport? Oh, that's nothing. I mean, we can maybe throw in some of these in here. I mean, it's just going to be a lot of those. I mean, some crates maybe. I don't really know. I kind of just don't know what to put in here. You know, we're just going to put random clutter in here just because I feel like that's just the way to go about it. It's just random clutter. None of it really has to make sense. Like, it just has to be. I don't know. Like, this kind of item would be kind of cute in here. It's like a PA system maybe or something like that. It's a storage cart. Oh my God, what if? Hold the phone, y'all. I'm being so silly. We have so many things in this game that's for storage. Like, we literally have a storage section. We have this. Like, come on. Literally, let's go to surfaces. We can go to displays. Let's filter by the restoration workshop. We can do like a couple of these in here. We can do these like beat up blue ones too. And then we can just like put a bunch of these on these shelves and then do like, you know, I don't know, a mixture of them like that and that and that. Like, hello, that's like perfect. Oh my God, a fan. There's like this in here. Maybe they used to have a woodshop class and they just don't anymore. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. It's just a random room, but that's cool. I don't mind that at all. This is such a sad little locker room, but I kind of like that it is because like that's realistic. Let's be honest. Okay. Back to the bleachers area. This has been a journey, y'all. I know y'all are like, wow, this is a long video. Yeah, I know. And if you're at this point, you okay? I mean, no joking. Like, hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully you're doing okay, you know? Anyways, for the bleachers, I'm kind of torn because I do kind of want to use these, but I'm like, they don't really look like bleachers. They just look like benches. But at the same time, I feel like that looks good because I can put some like right here too. Oh, that looks actually, in hindsight, that looks pretty good because like if you place them all down, they actually do look good. Yeah, look at that. The color coordination is brilliant too. I think I want to also find, so there is an item that would be perfect. I don't remember exactly where it is in the catalog, but I do know it is from high school years. It is a debug item that looks like a scoreboard, but it's this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink it down to like that. I'm going to use the 9 key and put it like up here. And you can see it kind of, oh my God, it kind of works. It's not perfect at every angle. Like, you really have to like kind of play around with it. And I'm going to have to cover this up out here, but I really, really like that because I want to be able to, you know, have that kind of vibe in here. I also could be being real dumb and there might be an item that is basically that, but better. But I don't know. It looks so good. I'm really here for it. So I'm just going to like make sure it doesn't show outside. Look at that. That's brilliant. And you know what? Just for the vibes, I am going to grab some basketballs. Okay, let me just type in basket instead because I feel like, what? Oh, I'm filtering by high school years. I'm so silly, y'all. This item, we'll just put like, I don't know, a couple around, you know, the court, I guess. I wish we had like a thing of basketballs. Why do I feel like we do and it's like decorative? Hold on. You know what? Let's do this together. We'll go to objects by function. We'll go to live edit, and then we will look under high school years and we'll see if there's anything like that. We can also look under Discover University because there's like the likelihood that that could also have something for us too. You know, I actually think I am thinking, oh, this is like a little cart. I mean, this kind of looks good in here. I kind of like that, but I'm thinking of Animal Crossing. I'm pretty sure Animal Crossing has like a basket, like a big thing of basketballs. I don't even know if it's in New Horizons. It could be in an older game like New Leaf. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have any of that, but I don't know. I might put some other little random goodies here and there, like some of those cones. I don't know. I feel like that looks really good up here now. And then we have this area too, which I kind of want to add in some of these windows up here as well. Maybe just like a few kind of along the building here so that there is some light, some natural light up here. And then I guess we can add some workout equipment. Oh my gosh, what if I was to put this podium set here and maybe they're just having an announcement here? I don't know. Ooh, we could put that. We could put that in here. That's actually a brilliant idea. But they put that in here, and that's what they bring out during, like, you know, announcements. They bring people into the gym. That's what they did for us. All right. Anyways, I need to stop getting distracted, y'all. Stop letting me get distracted. Hey, stop that. But let me see here. I want to find just some workout equipment because that's what we had, is a place for everybody to go work out if they wanted to. There was like, you know, weights, and I think it was really just weights. Let's be honest. It was weights. And I think I'll just use this one from the base game. I'll just put like a couple of those like up here. And then maybe I'll put like a few of these like old like treadmills too. I don't know if Sims will actively use these, but hey, you know what? It's fun. It adds to the charm of this build. Not everything has to be functional. Okay. But yeah, let me move some of this stuff kind of in a little bit. And then maybe I can put the weight thingy, whatever that's called, the free weights. That's what they're called. We can put some of those up here too. We'll just do like maybe one here and then like one on the other side here as well. There we go. Just a few things up there. Nothing too crazy. And I feel like the gym is done. I feel like if I was to add anything else in here, it would be too intense. I like it. Well, let me add a clock. I feel like a clock in the gym. And actually, to be perfectly honest with you, I have not added nearly enough clocks, to be honest. I don't even know where they are. I think I have to go to the bedroom section. There we go, clocks. Did not even think to add any. This one from Get to Work, sized up a couple times, would be perfect. We'll put one there maybe. And then maybe we can just put some like throughout the space. Because in my school, the bell was like a clock, basically. So we can just put that kind of throughout the space. We'll put like maybe a couple here. I don't know. Maybe they have different time zones. I did forget something though. I wanted to include a vending machine kind of area here. We can just put like a variety of them. I don't even know if there's enough room back here. I guess so. And we'll just put like a variety. We had vending machines for sure. I don't really ever remember using it though. I think it's because it was just too expensive. Like for real, I didn't have money. I was a kid. I was like a teenager. Like, didn't have money. I don't even know if that's not even a proper vending machine. There we go. Just a little variety of those for Sims to buy from. But the high school itself is done. We only have one more little area. We've got this little hangout area, and then we have the greenhouse, which is going to be like kind of like another classroom, sort of, kind of paying homage to my experience, which I didn't take that class, of course, but it was there. I don't know. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to include that. I'll put a couple benches here. Maybe I'll put in a few outdoor plants too. Like, you know, those ones from the base game that are just like those big box plants like these. Oh, I feel like those are way too big. Well, maybe we can use the smaller one then. If I can find it. Oh, there it is. We'll just put a couple of those here. Maybe just like this. That's kind of nice. Kind of fills that space in a little bit. And then I do want to find some benches. I don't want to use those again. I want to use specifically the one from the base game that is that kind of 3 tile wide one. I don't remember where it is. Oh, my eyes. This thing. This would be perfect. I could just put them like kind of like on the corners of this, and then I put one like in the middle between each of these lights. Oh, this seems like just such a nice little area to come outside and sit. You know, the lighting is really pretty. There's some nice trees. There's some nice lighting. It's really clean. That's actually so darling. I don't think I really. Do I want to add anything else? I could add some tables, maybe like right here. Actually, yeah, we can do like a couple like picnic tables or something. I feel like that would be cute. Like these. Oh, these are perf. These are perf. I've been saying gorge and perf. I mean, what is wrong with me? I also say dece, unironically. I feel like that looks good. That fills in the space really nicely. And do I want to put maybe a few in the middle here? I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of fun to have some in the middle. Let's see. I want to put like maybe like a couple like this. Do I want to put them horizontally though? Yeah, that looks cute. And then we have the greenhouse section. Obviously, this area is going to be, you know, mostly decorative, but at the same time, you can have your Sims maybe come out here and do like a little after school like gardening club. I feel like that would be really fun. I think I'll just put maybe like a couple tables like these out here, and then I'll just grab, well, actually, you know what we'll do? We'll go into show all, and I'm going to filter by 2 kits specifically. We're going to do Greenhouse Haven and what is it called? Blooming Rooms. I feel like that would be perfect because this item, oh my goodness, that is so cute. We can put a few of those, a few of these vents in here. We can put some like greenhouse stuff over here in the corner. I feel like that would look really, really nice. You know, we'll do some little seedlings and I don't know. Let's just hit show all. Oh, and there's also some tables too. We could put some out here. Yeah, we can do like little pots, little thing like that. We'll do even more of the mulch stuff. We'll do like some of these too. Let me also I'll type in florist because there is like a couple little decorative items from the base game that come up when you search that item, like this item. You know, just a few things just to kind of add to the vibe. And then I think I'm also going to add in some of the like clay versions of these too in this little section. I feel like that looks pretty cute. This lighting is like, it's like kind of incredible, but also it's hard to see. Like really, it's like really hard to see. There we go. Morning light is probably the easiest to work with. Part of me wants to replace this area with, I mean, probably this floor would be best just because of the fact that it's probably really easy to clean up. And then we'll do this lighter wood. I kind of want the lighter wood. Maybe these are like ones that they built or something. Maybe this is agriculture and wood shop. That's not a bad idea, you know? We could do that. Like it doesn't have to be a quote unquote classroom because I feel like most of the time, maybe I'll have a few chairs sitting around, but I kind of like the idea of maybe there's like, you know, other skill building items out here other than just like, you know, planter boxes. I can put like these workbenches. Like, what if the workbenches are the desks? I feel like that would be really fun, honestly. And I'm going to use this one from the Nature's Calling event just because I feel like it has some really fun swatches. We'll do kind of something like that maybe. And I do need to include some overhead lighting. I did not do that in here because I put the glass roof and was like, oh, that's enough, but that's not enough. So let me do like a couple over here, just like so. There we go. That looks great. Okay, let's look through all this stuff because we're at the end goal. We're at the what is it? I don't even know. I don't even know. Let's go into the restoration workshop kit. And I'm going to put a fan out here too because it's probably really warm. You know, we'll put a couple even. Put some boxes and stuff over here. Ooh, that's like wood shop thing, you know. Maybe they do agriculture and wood shop together. You know, I feel like that would be, you know, realistic. We didn't do it together in my school, of course. It was kind of a combination. What am I saying? It was not a combination. It was the opposite of a combination. It was actually 2 separate classes and teachers and stuff. I see. Here's the tea, y'all. They actually tried to put me into woodshop, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out, see if I like it. And it was just a bunch of boys, a bunch of dude, bro, straight boys, and I felt so out of place. Let me tell you what, I felt so out of place. I was like, okay, I don't want to be in here anymore. Literally day one, I went to another teacher. I was like, hey, can I be in this class instead? And she was like, yeah, just, that's it. Yeah, I don't care. And I'm like, thank you. I did not want to be in there. I was scared. Okay. I mean, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared of anybody. But, I just was like, ugh, boys? Like, really? Boys? I don't want to put up with boys. I mean, unless they're boys, but not boys, I think this is fun. It looks really cute. Maybe they stand up here and there's in pairs and then the teacher's just like walking around. Yeah, I can see it. I really, really like it. And I think that's it for today. That's the build, y'all. Let's go ahead and finally jump on into a tour. And of course, I'm going to give you the tour in this beautiful evening light. Look at how gorgeous this is. It's so simple. It's so basic, but honestly, looking at this, it's so nostalgic feeling. Like it literally is styled so similarly to the high school that I went to in real life. Here is the front entry here. You can see into the offices there. I don't know why, but seeing this, it's like, whoa, this feels weird. It feels so familiar. Here is another little angle. There isn't much in the hallways aside from just the lockers, but that's kind of realistic. The only thing I could have probably added was like water fountains, and we don't have that in this game. So I think I don't know. I feel like it looks good. Here is the secretary kind of front office space. I'm imagining the principal will be sitting here because this is flagged as a principal's desk, but just know in spirit, this is the principal's office. I think it looks pretty good. I feel like I could have probably added some more clutter in here, but I really didn't want to. I didn't want to like overdo it with this build. Here is one of the bathrooms. They both look the same. Beige, dingy, realistic. And then we have the cafeteria. I put some nice, tables and chairs here, all mix and match. They're all folding tables too. And then there is the area where they go and get their actual food. I mean, they really only need this one item here in the middle, so the rest of it is just decorative. And then we have the gym. Honestly, look at how freaking cool the gym is. I think this might be one of my favorite things I've built in a long time. This view isn't as good because the lighting is kind of glitchy and weird in the game, but the vibes are kind of immaculate. I love all the green accents. I think that's a really fun little through line. I like to imagine maybe that's their school colors is green. Then moving back into the main part of the building, here is the library. I mean, just ignore the book nook shelves being like that up there, but I think it's really cute. It's pretty minimal in here, but it's nice. It's a good place to study. And then we have a computer lab. You can also kind of go into here from either the main hallway or the living or the library. Yes. Did I say computer room? Yes. No. Computer lab? Yes. It's been a long video, y'all. But yeah, I love the little space. It's very simple. Here's another view of the hallway. Just thought I'd give it to you. I love this vibe. It's so liminal. And then we have one of the functioning classrooms. So this is actually going to be one of the rooms that your Sims will go to for real class in the gameplay portion of high school years. And then I decided to do a art class here. I don't know if this makes any sense, but it looks like an art class. I mean, there isn't a desk for the teacher, but whatever. I'm just imagining this could also just be like an art club room. This room isn't technically functional with the proper like classroom setup, but you could put the whiteboard in here instead. But this room is actually more like the math class. This is inspired by my favorite teacher, and my favorite class in high school was, calculus, pre-calculus, geometry, all the good jazz. And then this is the other functioning classroom. It's basically the same setup as the previous one. I wanted to keep them both the same, so it just felt more cohesive, but it's just different colors. I like it. I like to think maybe they teach history in here. I don't know why. Back to the gym. Here's just like a little storage room. I forgot about this room. It's kind of a mess. I kind of like it. And then we have this dingy little locker room here. Realistically, there would be a bathroom like probably attached to this, but they're so close by. I was like, I'm just gonna like do this. I don't know. It's just for the vibes. And then back outside, here is kind of like, I don't want to call it the quad because that's not what it is, but it's like just like the hangout area outside. I can imagine your Sims can go out there and eat their lunch or just hang out during breaks. It's cute. I like it. And then we have the agriculture / wood shop classroom. Maybe it's like the first half of the year they do wood shop, the second half of the year they do agriculture. I don't know. I just put this stuff out here to kind of represent those classes. And yeah, you can just have your Sims come out here and just work on their skills, I guess. And then here is the floor plan. It is kind of hard to see. There is a lot here, but this is kind of inspired by my original, like my high school that I went to growing up. And I really, really love it. I'm really excited to play in this. And I'm absolutely obsessed with this view right now. This beautiful evening light, the warm vibes. It's just nice. But anyways, I hope you all enjoy today's very long video. Do let me know in the comments, if you want to see more videos this type of length. I really do enjoy them. They take a lot out of me, but I enjoy them immensely. And do let me know in the comments what kind of build I should do next. But yeah, I will have this available on the Sims 4 gallery under my username Lucca Owens. Just be aware, it is not limited pack. It is pretty open. You'll need Get to Work probably for the most part. Let's be honest. I use a lot of that today. I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to my YouTube members, the Lavender Buds. Thank you guys so much for your support. It is with your support I'm able to continue making content full time, and it also allows me to take the time to make videos like this so I don't feel so rushed to, catch up with the algorithm. It's a really great bit of support. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Do let me know and all that good stuff. And that is everything. Thank you all so very much for watching. Don't forget to plant lavender for luck. Bye, y'all.